Overcast skies in College Park, Maryland. Plenty of faithful on hand to witness the first ever meeting between the Terrapins of Maryland and the Falcons of Bowling Green. Will Likely is the man who's a kick return and punt return specialist. Oh, by the way, an all Big Ten cornerback, but he is such a threat with these returns.
Absolutely. Just a career day last week. The way that he was able to return these punts. Watching the film, I was truly shocked that they kept kicking the football to Will Likely. Everybody wishes that he could do it all, that he could play offense, and he could play scat back and tailback, but, you know, you're going to risk him getting injured that way. I think the most important thing is he's already an offensive threat, Joe, with the, you know, the amount of yards that he gets on kickoff returns or punt returns, the yardage that he gets in the field position that he gives the offense. So that's what they love most about Will.
Bowling Green was beaten by Tennessee last week, and it was Cameron Sutton who was a big headache for the Falcons in the return game. Tyler Tate is set to kick off. Anthony Farinella has been out with injuries, so Tate is double duty, plays kicking and kicking off. A liner that will soar through the end zone. A touchback, Maryland 1st and 10 from its own 25. Perry Hills is a junior from Pittsburgh, PA. He won the job in the offseason, a three-headed race for the Terrapin quarterback spot.
He did. You know, it was great to see, Joe. This was a guy that really worked hard this offseason. He was a guy that wasn't expected to win the starting job. He had to battle back from the third spot, but he really focused. He studied this offseason. He was in the film room, and most importantly, he really gained the respects of his teammates.
Brandon Ross is the tailback, a career best day for him a week ago. Hills out of the gun. Play action. On target quickly for Amba Edatawa. First down pickup. Nearly 20 yards. Give him 19 on the opening play of the day.
And that's film study right there, Joe. That's exactly what Mike Loxley said in our meetings this week, is that they wanted to get Perry Hills throwing the ball quick. You get a quick completion, you get a lot of confidence as a quarterback.
They really thought, Maryland did, that the play action game would be successful against the Falcons. Hills stays in the gun. The snap from Evan Mulrooney. Quarterback keep. Hills streaks inside Falcon territory where he's brought down. The tackle made by Eiler Hardy, the former safety at Notre Dame. 23 yards on the run.
And this is simply a read option here, Joe. It looked like maybe a little bit of confusion in the backfield. However, Perry Hills, this is something that you don't really recognize him as a quarterback as having speed, but he's capable of running this spread offense, this read option, just like C.J. Brown did last year.
He ran for 25 yards last week, Scott. Got 23 right there. 1st and 10. Another play action pass. Rolling and firing. Easy pitch and catch for Malcolm Culmer. Culmer, who had a 37-yard TD catch last week. A gain of 9 for the Terps.
And this is one thing that they want to do, Joe, is really run the football. All this will do is set up the play-action game, the passing game. If they can run the football today, it's only going to open up more downfield, and that's what really Maryland's trying to focus on.
2nd down and short. Terps hoping to use that size advantage up front. A beefed-up offensive line. Ross takes it where he is bear hugged quickly. Tyler Hardy was close by. Hardy, who relays things very well defensively since coming in from South Bend. And Randy Edsall was telling us that Perry Hills communicates the calls, the checks, the offensive scheme very well at the line of scrimmage these days. They've learned the system. Last week was the first game for Hills. You have to go back to 2012. Swing it out into the flat. It's dropped by Culmer.
Culmer had some big drops last week. That's really one thing that he tried to focus on this week, was catching the football. Last week was a big drop early, and these are the kind of throws that Perry Hills needs to make and get completed in order for him to have confidence, and not only for him, but for Malcolm Culmer to have confidence as well.
A solid opening drive for the Terps. It's 2nd and 10. The short drop off the hands of Culmer, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Trenton Green, in the vicinity.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of a rushed throw there. However, Malcolm Culmer still has to come up with that. Wasn't the greatest throw in the world, but maybe a little bit behind him. But Perry Hills did a great job under center. taking a three-step drop, finding the open target, and putting it not where it needed to be. But I think Malcolm Comer still has to make that catch. Would have been tough, but it would have been nice to have.
Wes Brown is into the game in the backfield with Perry Hills. 3rd down and 10 for the Terps. Hayward, the tight end, in motion. Hills was hit as he was throwing. That ball knocked down. James Sanford was quick off the edge.
Yeah, and these Bowling Green's coaches this week said that James Sanford is one of the most athletic guys on this defense, and it showed right there. The way he came off the edge and got to the quarterback was just spectacular right there. That's one thing that they want to do today is put pressure on Perry Hills. They don't necessarily have to get to him, but just make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket. Nice job.
41-yard field goal attempt for Brad Craddock, the Terps' first ever winner of the Groza Award, a first-team All-American last year. The kick on its way. Plenty of leg. And dead solid, perfect. Brad Craddock gets Maryland on the board. A 3-0 advantage here at home.
Football on BTN is presented by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. Brought to you by FanDuel, the leader in one-week fantasy football. And by Ally Bank, where no branches equals great rates.
Maryland Terrapins here at home in College Park, a 70-degree day, a scoring drive, just a little bit more than 2 minutes time, Scott, and it's Brad Craddock with a 41-yard field goal.
Yeah, Brad Craddock is reliable as they come, although last week he missed an extra point and he missed a field goal. And I asked Coach Edsel, you know, why did he miss that? Why did he miss the field goal and the extra point? Was it the hold? And he said, no, he simply just, he was overstriding and he simply duck hooked like your driver, Joe. He duck hooked the field goal and it went wide left.
Nice of you to have seen my golf game. He said we have to finish this week, Randy Edsel. Great field position, 5 of their first 6 drives last week. Couple of them fizzled. Craddock was 3 for 4. 18 of 19 last year from field goal distances for the Australian, who's turned out to be the leader of the Leadership Council here in College Park. Rare for a place kicker to have that much oomph.
No, he has, and that's not something you see very often. A kicker as the leader of this football team, the leader of the Leadership Council, but he's proved it. This kid works so hard on and off the field. He does exactly what he needs to do every day in the classroom, on the field, and he's a true football player, and he loves the game of football, and he's what Maryland football players should be all about.
Rhodes 2 yards deep, and he'll kneel. It'll be 1st and 10 for Bowling Green from the Falcon 25. Enter Matt Johnson, a 23-year-old redshirt senior who turned 23 Wednesday of this week. Very fine numbers for him. He did not play more than 1 game last year. Injured in the opener, a broken hip.
Yeah, but you know what he did last year, Joe? He sat there and he coached up the other quarterbacks. He was the coach on the field. He got mental reps every day in practice on top of doing his rehab. For him to come back off of a broken hip to win the starting job again this year, that's something you don't see very often.
Travis Green is in the backfield with him, and in motion it was Green who was dinged last week against Tennessee in Nashville. Automatic completion for Roger Lewis. A pickup of 7, Dino Babers, in his 2nd season as the head coach in Bowling Green. This is a Bowling Green squad that loves to push the pace. They run plays on an average of 1 every 20 seconds. They have not performed very well against non-conference opponents on the road of late. Yeah,
what they want to do is really get up to the line of scrimmage. Dino Babers wants to push the tempo. That's how he wears defenses down.
Green fidgets loose, spins back into traffic, wrapped up by Sean Davis. 80 solo tackles last year. That was number 1 among secondary players in the Big Ten.
And Green took a shot last week against Tennessee, hyperextended his knee, but they really expect him to come back and have a big game today.
On 2nd and 7, Travis stopped after a pickup of 3. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Terrapins were trying to keep Bowling Green in those uncomfortable 3rd and longs. Johnson out of the gun. Flag is down. Rifle shot on the money inside Terrapin territory. It's Roger Lewis, who led all FBS freshmen in receiving yardage last year. 19 yards on this pickup. We await the call from our referee today, Greg Blum.
Defense number 67. 5-yard penalty. Results, 1st down.
And this is going to be an offsides
Decline,
call.
result of play, first down.
And this is a great job by Matt Johnson. What he does here with the hard count, he gets the defensive line to jump off sides right here. Matt Johnson knows he has a free play, so what he's going to do is just take a shot. If it's picked off, who cares? It's a penalty.
On the first down play, a steady diet of Travis Green, a third-year starter. 34 yards rushing against the Vols last week before the injury. Picks up 3 more. Second down and 7 for the Falcons in white. Johnson for Lewis. Cutting back in towards the formation. Lowers his shoulder and will be stopped near the 27-yard line. Roger Lewis, who saw a lot of Cam Sutton covering him a week ago, just 2 catches, one of those for 45. Lewis already with 3 grabs on this initial drive. First and 10, Bowling Green. The offense humming right along. Travis Green there, tripped up.
8 Travis Green carry.
7 more yards for Green, who was cleared by the doctors to return in the second half against Tennessee last week, but for precautionary reasons, they held him out. Jermaine Carter Jr. with a nose for the football. Tackle help coming from Kingsley Opara.
And this is the pace that they want, Joe. They get lined up, hoping they can catch Maryland not lined up, and they can run a play and pick up the first down.
Third down and 2. Johnson checking to the sideline. Co-offensive coordinators Sean Lewis and Mike Lynch, along with Dino Babers by committee, they call plays. Third and short. Green hammered as he went to the hole there. Jermaine Carter Jr., who was very effective a week ago.
Yeah, and they really like Jermaine Carter Jr., the way that he fills gaps, the way that he's the leader on this defense. He stops run attacks. This is exactly what they want out of him today.
Fourth and short. Bowling Green is not afraid. They went for it on 4th down inside their own 20 last weekend. This is 4th down, a little bit more than 1. Johnson for Lewis. Complete. First down, Bowling Green. Tackle made by Sean Davis. That's a marquee matchup on the outside.
It is. This is going to be a fun matchup today. Sean Davis moving from the safety position over to play corner. And Coach Edsall said he's just athletic. He knows how to get to the ball. You saw right there, that wasn't bad coverage. That was just a better throw and catch.
The drive continues for Bowling Green. Travis Green and a Bonham there to track him down from the blind side. Give him 2 on that play. Randy Edsall stalking on the sidelines. Brad Craddock has given Maryland a 3-0 advantage on its first drive. This current drive for Bowling Green, nearly 4 minutes, and now 13 plays. Coppett knifing inside. Not a lot of running room there. The Terrapins D stiffens, a gain of 2. Coppett, more of that straight line speed runner in the backfield for the Falcons.
Coppett is another back that they really like. This is more of a 2-headed monster of them. Both backs can do it all. Their game plans don't change. Coach said it doesn't matter who's in the game. Whoever's in the game is capable of fully running their offensive package. They really like Coppett coming out of the backfield.
Scott, this is 3rd and 6. The Falcons need to get to about the 3-yard line for Dino Babers to get the first down. 5 wides in the pattern. Johnson out of the shotgun. Underneath, that was a rocket shot too tough to grab for Ronnie Moore. Anthony Nixon, a 3rd-year starter, close by as you can tell.
Yeah, that's just a tough ball to throw, a tough ball to catch. When you're throwing over the middle like that, it doesn't have to be a rifle. Just put a little bit of a touch on there. That had no shot of being completed. But a great hold by the Maryland defense. This is what they wanted to do. They wanted to stop Bowling Green and stop them on their first drive.
Hohenstein will snap it. Kanapke will hold, and Tyler Tate will try a 27-yard field goal. That one curls and is no good. Tyler Tate, who clipped 3 times last week, a misfire on his first attempt today.
Yeah, what I usually look for is the communication between the kicker and the holder. Were the laces out or were they not? big stop by the Maryland defense.
Plenty to cheer about so far for Maryland on top 3-0 midway mark of the opening quarter. Scott, keys to victory for Maryland. What's on their to-do list?
Well, I think number one, Joe, they've got to be able to run the football. Maryland's proven whenever they can run the football, they usually have a pretty good day.
Ross out of the backfield. Fidgets across the 20. Helmet flies free from Brandon Ross. Bernard Turner made the stop. Here are the keys for Randy Edsall's troops.
Yeah, and again, this Maryland defense, they've got to figure out a way to slow down Matt Johnson in this Bowling Green offense. I don't necessarily think you're going to stop him, but if they can slow him down and at least keep him under 300 yards passing, I think they'll have a pretty good shot.
2nd and 7 for Maryland. Hills on the handoff, lowering the shoulder. Tremendous power displayed by Wes Brown as he is near to the 40-yard line, a pickup of 14. They'll say he's out of bounds at the 36.
And this is what you're gonna get out of this guy right here, Wes Brown, number 5. Changed his number. He's got a new outlook this year. He's battled some injuries. He's ready to rock. He really is able to run the football hard, and not only that, he can pick up big chunks of yard in space as well.
Wes Brown earlier this week, he was telling us that every week, every game is a stepping stone for this team and for himself personally. 1st and 10. The jet sweep there, no room. Zach Colvin made the stop on Laverne Jacobs. Nice to see Colvin back in business for Bowling Green. Season-ending injury last year, shortness of breath. They were fearing it was a heart defect. It turned out to be just a vocal cord dysfunction. Yeah, and this is that jet sweep right there, Laverne Jacobs. This is great film study by Bowling Green because this is what Maryland did last week. They ran the jet sweep last week and picked up big-time plays, and it's a forward pass for Perry Hills because sometimes receivers don't know how to take a handoff. So if you just flick it like that, if it's dropped, it's simply an incomplete pass, not a fumble. Hills under center, Mulrooney. Off the play action. No time there. Gets away from Royster. Good head fake on Green. And 1st down for Maryland on a fine run by Perry Hills. Tracked down by Darrell Hunter. This is what C.J. Brown did so great last year, Joe. Just his ability to maneuver in and out of the pocket, to scramble, to pick up 1st downs. A lot of people don't think Perry Hills can run. He did have the torn ACL, but he doesn't wear the knee braces anymore. He says, it affects the way I run. So he just took them off and said, I don't care. I'm just going to be my old athlete self. Turns that 2nd and long to a 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun. Hills to throw. Flushed out. Launches this one to the Bowling Green sideline. The pressure coming from Zach Colvin, who graduated from Bowling Green last spring. Punt duties now for Maryland's Nick Pritchard. And I thought Perry Hills might have scrambled out of the pocket a little bit too early there. I think, you know, if he steps up, he makes his reads, he can make a throw and deliver right there, but he gets flushed out of the pocket. The smartest thing that he did there was throw the ball out of bounds. Don't try to make a spectacular play and throw an interception. Great job by Perry Hills. Ryan Burbrink is the deep man for Bowling Green. Waiting for this low liner. Takes it right to the 25. Burbrink straight ahead and dropped in his tracks there. We'll get you back for more of this opening quarter. Maryland on top of visiting Bowling Green on BTN. Maryland by 3 in College Park. Keys to the contest for the Falcons read out this way. Well, I think they've got to have a big day in the air. They didn't exactly have a big day on the ground last week, and I think that's more of their offense, is to throw the football downfield and make plays. And then they've got to stop Maryland's rushing attack as well, Joe. Travis Green taking the handoff, Scott. Gets to the 39-yard line, and Abona makes the tackle. Travis Green showing no signs of the ill effects of last week's injury. This pass in and out of the hands of Ryan Burbrink, former standout at nearby DeMatha High School. And that's not like Ryan Burbrink. He's a sure-handed catch. So unfortunately, he was dropping the ball right there. But this is what Bowling Green wants to do. They want to keep that up-tempo offense. They want to keep Maryland's defense on their toes. They want to get in and out of the huddle quick and snap the ball with about 20 seconds left on the play clock. Graphic showed you a lot of offensive numbers already for both of these teams. We expect that to be the case. This is 3rd and 6 for Matt Johnson and the Falcons. Signals coming in from the sideline, and coordinator Sean Lewis. Johnson hums this one on target Ronnie Moore streaks away. Dropped there by Alvin Hill. A gain of 18 for the Falcons, who moved the chains.
And that was a great job by Bowling Green's offensive line, giving Matt Johnson time to deliver.
Johnson winds and fires again. Juggled and caught by Roger Lewis.
These are all reads that Matt Johnson is making. As soon as he comes up to the line of scrimmage, he knows exactly where he's going with the football before the defense even lines up.
The Falcons move in a flash on offense. There's a flag down. Illegal procedure.
Ball start. Offense number 53. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Logan Dietz. Big improvements in the run blocking for head coach Diener Babers.
Yeah, he just had a simple false start here. You can't have that. Those are mental mistakes that you cannot have going into a football game.
2nd and 11. Roger Lewis has this one. Streaking near first down yardage. Steps out of bounds. Driven out by Anthony Nixon. Bowling Green against Tennessee last week. You can see how prone they were to penalties.
And these are drive stoppers and coach killers. They hate to see that as coaches. Penalties.
Lewis angled out by Alvin Hill. Roger Lewis's catch totals climbing rapidly. He picks up another 7 yards. Little less than 4 minutes with which to work in the opening quarter. Maryland in front by 3. Johnson off the pump fake. Plenty of time to the end zone. Twisting around his intended receiver, Ronnie Moore.
Maryland doing a nice job making an adjustment there, stopping these quick hit throwing routes that Bowling Green has been doing. If you look, everybody is uptight playing man-to-man coverage. They're not going to allow Bowling Green to take the snap and throw. Quick hitch throwing route.
3rd and 3. Bowling Green already with 84 yards through the air. Johnson a week ago, a career best 424 in that losing effort in Nashville to the Volunteers. Johnson keeps, does not surprise the Maryland defense. Yannick Ngakoue with a big stop there. Just 1 yard picked up by Johnson. Bowling Green's already gone for it on 4th down once today. They were 3 for 3 last weekend. Checking for the signal from the line of scrimmage on 4th and 2. Terps faithful getting noisy. Johnson to throw. Climbing up in the pocket. Dropped. Yannick Ngakoue. Back-to-back highlights.
Yannick Ngakoue just a great job coming upfield on the rush and retreating. This is what Coach Dazinski said. When he comes up on the line of scrimmage, he gets a big push up front. He retreats as soon as he gets a yard deep. He retreats, comes back to the football, and does a great job sacking Mac Johnson right there.
Scott, all throughout the offseason, number 7 said, I have to lead the way on defense. He sure did on that drive.
He did. He's really taken it upon himself to step up and being the leader, not only of this defensive end group, but this whole defense. And he showed right there. He's going to have to make plays like that this year in order for this defense to be successful.
That Maryland defense has to be huffing and puffing, so Perry Hills and the Terps need to sustain a drive here. Brandon Ross stopped in his tracks. Forward progress to the 25. We go back to Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update with Mike Hall.
Hey, Joe and Scott, let's check out the home debut for Jim Harbaugh, and it's off to a rough start. Seth Collins to Hunter Jarmone, 7-zip there. The Wolverines added a field goal. We're halfway through the first, and it's 7-3 Beavers.
Mike, Michigan and Oregon State haven't played each other in some 29 years. They get acquainted again in Ann Arbor. Ross takes it around the end. Nice tackle coming up there swiftly was Jernard Turner. He'll turn 23 in a couple weeks. Defense has so much trust in him.
Yeah, just a great tackle, a great read by Turner. The way that he read that option pass right there. He attacks Brandon Ross and makes a great tackle in the backfield for a big stop by Bowling Green's defense.
Perry Hills coordinating the offense. It's 3rd and 12 for Maryland. Brad Craddock, a 41-yard field goal on the opening drive for the Terps, has given them the lead. Falcons peel back. They rush forward. Hills steps up. tucks it down, launches himself through the air. Sent cartwheeling by Sanford. Elijah Ballou in there as well.
Well, it all starts off right here, Joe, with Mike Minter and his protection. It breaks down a little bit. Perry Hills does a great job seeing the breakdown, the protection, and trying to pick up that big third down conversion. But you can't have drive stoppers like that. You've got to stay on schedule. You've got to read your keys so you have a third and short. You can't have third and long and expect to convert it all day.
Maryland was 7 of 12 last week on third down, 0 for 3 so far today. A hanging, booming punt from Pritchard. Burbrake with the fair catch. A 41-yard boot for the new punter in town, the freshman from New Jersey, Nick Pritchard. Cy-Hawk battle coming up. Iowa State coverage at 4:30 Eastern on Fox. Battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy. Matt Johnson scanning over the Maryland defense. Bowling Green has moved swiftly in this first quarter, but has not been able to cash in. Alvin Hill put a crunch onto Chris Gallen. That was a huge hit.
Huge hit by Hill. I'll tell you what, that'll give you alligator arms going over the middle again with hits like that.
Johnson off the fake fly sweep, launching this one deep down the middle. In and out of the hands of Robbie Rhodes, dislodged from the ball by Will Likely.
And this is why they love Will Likely so much. A spectacular read by Matt Johnson, and even a great throw. Will Likely doesn't have anybody to cover on his side of the field. He realizes they need help in the middle of the field and goes and makes a great play.
Those last two replays showing you the quickness, the closing speed of Will Likely as the Maryland defense answers the call of Fred Coppett. Roman Braglio all fired up front for the Terps.
And they really love Roman Braglio, too. He's a big Husker up front. His ability to get push off the line of scrimmage, get to the quarterback, and make big plays like that.
Well, Will Likely, the spotlight is on you. Fabulous punt returner. Broke a Big Ten punt return record last week. Awaiting the kick from Joseph Davidson, who averaged almost 49 yards last week against Tennessee. On 4th and 4. This one's dragging its tail. Likely backpedals to the 16. Will Likely finds a crease. Likely to midfield and more. Will Likely, one man to beat. Likely, all the way. House call for Will Likely. 85 yards, he's done it again.
Joe, I'm still amazed that they kicked to this man. How dangerous he was last week. If I'm the coach, I'm kicking it out of bounds because, as you see right here, this is exactly what Will does. He gets the ball in his hands, and it's dangerous. He's thinking touchdown each and every time he catches a punt.
Craddock on for the extra point. Right down the middle. Mr. Excitement, Will Likely. The do-it-all defender and return specialist for the Terrapins goes 85 yards in a blink.
I mean, he's really an artist back there receiving these punts. He works at it day in and day out. Randy loves this kid and the way that he plays.
That's the end of one quarter, and it ends in spectacular fashion for Will Likely. Will Likely, number 4 for Maryland, has perfected his craft. Another punt return touchdown. It's 10-0 Terps.
Now, Joe, I'm going to break this down for you. Watch this guy right here. He's got contained. His job is to tackle Will Likely. Now, Will makes one guy miss in space, and then there's a big block right here on the Big Ten logo that sets Will free. Will sets up his blocks nicely, and then shoom, he's off to the races. This is how dangerous this kid can be. I don't see many guys punting to Will Likely from the rest of the season on, but I had said that after last week, too, and they still decided to kick to Will.
233 punt return yards last week against the Richmond Spiders. The fabulous performance from Likely, the best in Big Ten punt return history, breaking the record that was held since 1939 by former Heisman Trophy winner Niall Kenneth. From the goal line, Stevens worms his way and is chopped down. Back to Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update. Here's Mike Hall.
Thanks, Joe. Bill Cuban in his second game as interim coach at Illinois, and you just got to keep handing the ball off to Josh Ferguson. That'll do. His team's up double digits in this one. They went for 2 and got it, but then a penalty pulled it back, so they went for 1. Your standard 10-zip score.
Mike, that Josh Ferguson, such a dual threat, very productive, catching the football a week ago as the Fighting Illini trashed Kent State last week, 52-3. Bowling Green out of the Mid-American Conference, tangling with the Big Ten Maryland. Johnson's pass is off the hands. It was a little bit behind Roger Lewis, who has been targeted a ton today.
Well, not only Roger Lewis, but you got a plethora of receivers to throw to. Matt Johnson, I wish I had this many receivers. He not only has 4, but he's got 8 guys that they're going to rotate in and out of the game, and all that does is keep fresh legs on the field for Matt Johnson.
Roger Lewis has 7 catches already. Johnson spins this one perfectly near first down yardage. Ryan Burbrink with a grab after the pickup
17, Ryan
of 12. That will move the chains. Lewis had 16 catches against Indiana last year. Travis Green around the end.
8 Travis Green carries.
Let's give him 5.
Tackle by 39, Savon Walker.
Burbrink, great job knowing where the chains were 2 plays ago. Knowing they had to pick up 12, ran his curl route right at the first down marker. Matt Johnson made a great throw and a great catch to pick up the first down.
2nd and 5. Early stages of the second quarter. Johnson will tuck it down and then slide near the 40.
This is what Maryland's defense wants to do, is break Johnson down in the pocket, flush him out, make him try to beat them with his feet. Matt Johnson does a great job there, knowing when the play's over and sliding, not taking a hit.
Johnson again on the option, the pitch for Green, makes a man miss, and spun down by Jesse Anamona. 8 yards off the option pitch. Dino Babers says of his quarterback, Matt Johnson, he's a fantastic competitor and a fantastic leader. They had to open the job up. Remember how good Kanapke was last year.
Had a great year.
Johnson blew away the quarterback room. He keeps the ball now. Flings it out there for Moore. Moore driving inside of Maryland territory, brought down at the 36. A.J. Hendy and Alvin Hill combined on the tackle. Ronnie Moore, who didn't play in the first half last week, he was suspended for targeting in the bowl game a season ago.
This is a great read by Matt Johnson. He can either pull it and run, or if they take away the run as well, he can also throw it to his outlet, which he does right there. They've been executing this read option to a T so far.
Head coach Dino Babers, former assistant under Art Briles at Baylor, taking the timeout. A little bit shy of the 2-minute mark in quarter number 2. Brad Craddock, a 41-yard field goal, an 85-yard punt return, touchdown for Will Likely. It's 10-0 Terps in College Park. Presented by Safelite Auto Glass on BTN and BTN To Go. Joe Beninati and Scott McBrien with you in College Park, and I'm guessing that Braxton Miller is A-OK with his new H-back position.
Unbelievable. Some thought he might leave Ohio State. He might transfer. He wanted to play quarterback, but he's made an adjustment very well. You know, some are surprised. They forget how well he can run, but when you watch that game the other night, some of the spin moves and runs that he had was just spectacular. I guess the rich get richer, Joe.
They sure do. Matt Johnson sets his feet, flings it in there, the flat there. Burbrink with a catch.
Joe, you hit it on the nose right there. Sets his feet. When Matt Johnson has a chance to set his feet and throw, he's going to be right on the money, and that's exactly what he did right there. He read the coverage, set his feet, threw the ball right on target.
Big numbers again for Matt Johnson this week. Hums that one for Roger Lewis. Shakes the tackle. Gets driven out of bounds after he was able to shed Sean Davis. Roger Lewis approaching double figures in catches in just a little over a quarter.
Yeah. And Sean Davis needs to make that tackle right there. Made the move from safety to cornerback. Now he's going to have a chance to make more tackles. He's got to come up with that play.
1st and goal, Falcons. Underneath, they include the tight end, too, Derek Lee. Junior college transfer.
Tackle by 19, A.J. Hendy.
Played formerly at the FCS level, too, a 2-time national champ with North Dakota State. 2nd and goal for Coach Babers. Johnson shovels it inside. Touchdown, Derek Lee.
Great job by Matt Johnson right there. The old shovel pass. He has a double option read there. If they take away the shovel, he pitches it on the option. If they take away the option, he pitches it underneath to the shovel. Great execution by Matt Johnson.
Going for 2 here. Konechny for Donovan Wilson. Nothing fooling Jefferson Escherud. It'll remain 10-6. Maryland getting the jump on visiting Bowling Green. Little bit of trickery. Johnson taking a page from the basketball playbook. Little push pass for Derek Lee. Bowling Green is carved into Maryland's lead in College Park. It's 10-6 for the Terps. Today's United States Marine Corps leader of the game, P.J. Gallo. He's going to turn pro on Wall Street next year, Scott.
Hey, he's going to go work. That's what people usually do, Joe. They work for a living. Not everybody can make it in the NFL, but this is a guy that you really want to model your kids after. Just a great guy on and off the field, does whatever it takes to get better day in and day out. He's a hard worker in the weight room, and this is why this coaching staff really loves P.J. Gallo.
He'll work at Goldman Sachs, foregoing his final year of eligibility. Myers will just pooch this one. The upback is Ty Johnson, flashy freshman running back. Johnson gets this return near midfield for Maryland. They wanted nothing to do with Will Likely. Back to Chicago at T-Mobile Studio Update with Mike Hall.
All right, guys, thanks. Let's check in on the Boilermakers trying to stop a 7-game losing streak. Great protection for Austin Appleby, and he floats it over to D'Angelo Yancey for a 50-yard touchdown. Boilers are up 14-zip.
The Boilers, who have won 11 straight home openers, Mike. They've won all 4 meetings against the Sycamores all time. First ever meeting between Maryland and Bowling Green. Terps on top. Wes Brown. Hog tied there. Tracked by Trenton Green, the brother of the outstanding running back for the Falcons. A gain of 2.
And a great job by Green right here. Just a spectacular effort running down Wes Brown. Wes Brown is not necessarily an easy running back to track down, but right there he did a great job. And be careful the horse collar there, but did a great job, made a spectacular tackle.
Ryan Ward is the new D coordinator for Bowling Green. He says of Trenton Green, he has SEC-type dynamic movement. A little sawed off, though, they say, only 5'9" tall. 2nd and 8. Wes Brown again. Undercut by Eiler Hardy. 3-yard gain for Brown.
Just a great penetration right here by this whole defensive line. That's what this defensive line wants to do today, is get penetration, win the battle in the trenches. And if they can do that, they're going to do a great job in stopping this Maryland run attack.
61 there on the end. Terrence Bush, blue-collar guy. Maryland trying to convert its first 3rd down of the day. 3rd and 5. Hills, blitz coming. Perry Hills gets away from it. He's got wide open spaces. Hills inside the 20. Hesitates, and he's dropped. Knocked out of bounds at the 11 by Eiler Hardy. A huge gain. 36 yards for Perry Hills.
Great job by Perry Hills. He recognizes it's cover one, which means everybody is manned up, man to man. If he can break out of the pocket, he knows there's nobody covering him. He does a great job recognizing the coverage, running for the first down. He picks up a whole lot more than just 10 yards.
Former Maryland Terrapin quarterback Scott McBrien recognizing the coverage there himself. As Perry Hills operates the Terps 5 minutes into the second quarter here at Byrd Stadium. They're powered straight ahead with Wes Brown. Brown toppled down. Bush, the last man off the pile. 8 yards for Wes. Gained 74 last week.
And this is where Wes Brown really thrives, down here inside the red zone. He loves getting these big, powerful yards. He can also do it in space, but he loves searching for contact. You don't see many running backs that try to find contact to run over somebody, and that's what Wes Brown does.
Let's see if the Terps can keep their word. They want to finish drives today. Already over 100 on the ground. The guys in the red jerseys. This is a 2 tight end set. Wes Brown off tackle. Falcons sniffing that out. Give Wes 1. That was 2nd and 2. Walls getting in on the tackle for the Falcons, along with the James Sanford, ever present as a weak side linebacker.
This is where Maryland wanted to improve this week, Joe. They really said they wanted to improve inside the red zone, not settling for field goals. They want to get 6, score big touchdowns inside the red zone. Goins
is the lead fullback for Wes Brown, the I-back. Jacobs in motion. Wes Brown bumped into his own player, and he's not going to get it. Trenton Green explosively on the edge there for a loss of 3.
This is why they love Trenton Green right here. The penetration, the ability to fill the gaps, take on blocks, and stop the running attack of Maryland. Doesn't get any much better than that. If you're a defensive guy, you love seeing plays like that.
That was a brilliant individual effort. Brad Craddock is on for a 23-yard field goal try. Snapper is Nate Adams. The holder is the backup quarterback, Caleb Rowe. Craddock's chip shot is true. All week working on that technique, and 2 for 2 so far today. Maryland on top of Bowling Green. It's 13-6 as we near the midway mark of quarter number 2. The trusty right foot of Brad Craddock on display again.
The No Problem people. Find your agent at AutoOwners.com. And by TireRack.com, the official tire and wheel experts of the Big Ten Conference. And by Dollar Shave Club. Shave time, shave money.
Memories of the past greats who've worn the jersey proudly of the Maryland Terrapins on top of visiting Bowling Green today on BTN by a 13-6 count. Brad Craddock, center screen, already with a pair of field goals. Joe Beninati and Scott McBrien shouting out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew. BTN football on Big Ten Network, presented by the U.S. Marine Corps today. Rhodes will kneel. Back to the studio in Chicago, a T-Mobile studio update with Mike Hall.
Joe, thanks. Let's update you on the Fighting Illini. Tyler White on the receiving end of a catch here. That's a touchdown for the ILL. And just a couple plays later, they got an interception from Taylor Barton. Sure enough, the Illini are driving. They're around the 20-yard line as we speak.
Mike, Illinois had a 28-0 lead after the first quarter last week. Testudo is pleased with what he has seen. We are at Capital One Field at Byrd Stadium in College Park. Big Ten football on Big Ten Network. Joe and Scott with you. 10-0. Maryland had the advantage after one quarter. Will Likely has done it again with another electrifying punt return touchdown. Matt Johnson, as advertised, very productive for the Falcons as he's ushered out of bounds by Jermaine Carter Jr. after a gain of 2.
And that's what you call a coverage sack right there. And I think what's most important is, you know, Maryland is really comfortable with their linebackers out in coverage, too. They're not going to throw a whole lot of defensive backs in there to try to cover wide receivers. They're okay with Carter and some of the other linebackers covering running backs and receivers out in space.
Travis Green right into the open arms of David Shaw, who doesn't get enough credit, number 67 on D, with a little help from Carter Jr.
Just a big push up front by the big offensive lineman right here. This is their plan of attack. They need to shoot the gap to try to get pressure on this Bowling Green offense.
3rd and 7 for the Falcons. Two for 6 on 3rd down today, the guys in white. Johnson to throw. Has time. Protection breaking down now. An awkward throw and catch. Quite a grab, but short of 1st down yardage. A gain of 2 for Travis Green. Lots of pressure there from the edge. The cornerback, Sean Davis, getting into the act. Joseph Davidson will punt now for Bowling Green.
And I think what Coach Dudzinski, the defensive coordinator, expressed to us this week, Joe, was he really wanted to teach these defensive ends when they get upfield, if they get past the quarterback, to spin move and retreat back to the quarterback to put pressure.
Are they brave enough to punt it to Likely again? This is like a rugby pooch. Likely fair catches, taking a knee at the 28. Maryland on top by 7. Back to College Park right after this. Maryland has a 7-point lead with 6:15 to go in the opening half. Will Likely, a dazzling punt returner who really works in practice at his craft. Notice the 2 tennis balls in his hand.
Yeah, and this is what Coach Etzel's son, Corey Etzel, brought to the table here. He saw this in an NFL training camp, and this is what we talk about when we say Will Likely really works at his craft. Holding the 2 tennis balls that allows him to look the ball in, look it into the tuck, not use his fingertips or his hands, and that only improves his skills when it comes game day.
Randy Etzel's son, Corey, had the internship with the Philadelphia Eagles. Found that little trick to come in handy. There's a flag down prior to a 2nd and 11 play. Referee today is Greg Blum.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Well, 76, that's Michael Dunn right there, just jumping a little bit too early. These are the mistakes that you can't have. Unfortunately, you're going to have these early in the season, but this is why you work week in and week out. You can't afford to have mental mistakes. All the mental mistakes pile up to be drive killers, and that's what coaches hate to see.
The offensive line, a concerted effort to get bigger in the offseason. They're up about 20 pounds across the board. There's Michael Dunn. His bench press alone is up 120 pounds from his freshman year. 2nd down and 17 for Perry Hills and the Terps. Off the short drop, Amba Edatawa there, spun around. 3-yard gain. James Sanford, Alfonso Mack teaming up to make the stop. Terps working quickly, giving the Falcons a little bit of their own medicine. Hills on the keeper. And he is toppled down by Trenton Green, who has been a major factor defensively for the Falcons.
Yeah, Maryland giving Bowling Green a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, lining up quickly, trying to catch guys not lined up, and that's not what you want to see if you're a Maryland fan. Perry Hills going up over the top. That's a situation where you need to get down, slide, know when the play's over. A punt is better than trying to go up and not only go up and try to get the 1st down, but get hurt in doing it at the same time.
Nick Pritchard, who punted only once last week in the convincing win over Richmond, hits it again. A liner for Burbrink, who says fair catch for the Falcons. Back for the conclusion of this opening half. 4:42 to go. As you covered all week long, we get you up to speed on all things college football. First, 6 Eastern. Join the conversation on BTN Live. Then we cover the entire college football landscape on Big Ten football and beyond. Weeknights on BTN and BTN to go. Scott, we're playing on the weekend of 9/11. Everybody knows where they were 14 years ago, and for you were on campus with the Terps.
I certainly was, Joe, and everybody knows where they were exactly when they heard the news. And I was here on campus going to a class and walked into a class to see no lights on, the power was off, teachers were telling us to get back in our dorms, didn't really know what happened, and unfortunately got back to the dorm, turned on the TV and saw the news. And it was a tough week to practice, that's for sure. We had a game that Saturday against West Virginia, and we didn't know if we were going to play the game. We had a lot of guys on the team that had family members in those 2 buildings, and You know, we canceled the game and we figured out a way to play it during our bye weeks.
2nd and 10 for Bowling Green. Johnson fidgets out of the pocket, spins and rolls, and Ngakoue is there to swallow him up.
Ngakoue swallowed him up, but Jermaine Carter Jr., great job putting pressure on Johnson, flushing him out.
Officials timeout for player injury.
We said that Ngakoue wants to be the leader out there. Anna Bonham is down on the turf. The athletic trainer for Maryland is Wes Robinson. See if we can find out what happened.
Well, if you're watching Ngakoue get upfield, this is what he's really been taught to do. That's a bull rush right there. But all that does is force Johnson out of the pocket, which allows Jermaine Carter Jr. to make the tackle.
You can see Anna Bonham gets leg whipped right here.
Yeah, this could be a big injury for the Maryland football team. You never want to see anybody get injured, but for Jesse to get hurt, that'd be a big hurt for this Maryland defense.
Terps have converted this year from a 3-4-D to a 4-3-D, and this guy was one of the players who was expected to be a beneficiary of that.
Yeah, and it was just simply because of their personnel, Joe. I mean, Coach Dazinski said they switched defenses because of their personnel. Their personnel allowed them to switch to that 3-4 defense, which is going to help them when they get into Big Ten Conference. These Big Ten linemen, they average 320 pounds. Those are tough linemen to take on day in and day out. So this defense really allows them to help stop the running attacks of this Big Ten Conference.
That was accidental friendly fire for Anna Bonham. Under his own power to the sideline. Done a great job changing his physique in the offseason. So many of these Terps did great work in the weight room. Matt Johnson hums this one. Wide open, Roger Lewis. We got to the interior unlikely. It's a first down for the Falcons. 15 yards on the pitch and catch.
And again, give the credit there to the offensive line of Bowling Green, doing a great job giving Matt Johnson time to make his read, deliver in the pocket, and throw a strike.
Right back to work. Johnson flushed down and dropped. Buried in the backfield by Quinton Jefferson, who had a couple of sacks last week.
Quinton Jefferson, the leader of this defensive line, comes in right here. Puts great pressure on Matt Johnson. Doesn't quit on the play. Still makes the sack. Great job by Quinton Jefferson.
2nd down and 18. Coppett wheeling his way across the 45. A first down run for the flashy 21-year-old from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 24 yards on the ground. Anthony Nixon makes the stop. You get so concerned with the Falcons the way they throw the football. It's that run game, too, that can really bite you.
Yeah, and Coach Baber said this week he wants to have a balanced attack.
Timeout on the field. Just a shade more than 3 minutes with which to work. Quinton Jefferson lumbering his way to the sideline. We mentioned the alteration of the 3-4 to the 4-3. That moved Quinton inside this year. He and Iowa's Drew Ott, the only two guys in the Big Ten last week with a pair of sacks. Checking above the eye. Johnson flings it out. The dangerous Ronnie Moore. Bear hugged up high by Alvin Hill. A gain of 4. Time continues to tick away in the opening half. Spend some studio time with Dave Refson, Jerry DiNardo, and Howard Griffith coming up between quarters 2 and 3. On the delay to Coppett. That was David Shaw getting in to the act. 67 in the red, the youngest of 8 children in the family.
That's a big family, Joe.
They own a couple of worm farms. They're bred for fishing and gardening if you need some bait. 3rd down and 5. Johnson in the gun. Steps up. Hit as he throws. That will fall short of the intended target. And there are flags down as Johnson was trying to connect with last week's hero, Garrick Dieter.
I think they're going to get Will Likely for a pass interference here. I don't know if the ball was actually catchable.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Now here's what gets Here's what gets you right here. It's the fact that you don't turn your head to try to make a play on the football. Matt Johnson does a great job getting the ball out of his hands because he's going to take a big hit right here.
Kingsley Opara thumped him. That's why that ball did not take its normal spiral flight out of the hand of Matt Johnson. The officials with the whistles blaring out. Checking on the spot of the football now. Just tuning in with us, 13-6 for the Terps. A pair of Brad Craddock field goals from 41 and 23. A Will Likely 85-yard punt return touchdown, giving Maryland the advantage. Derek Lee has the touchdown catch for the Falcons in white. That is the 10th grab of the day for Roger Lewis. 10 catches in the first half alone.
And Dino Babers this week said they don't plan to come into games with just a strictly passing attack. They want to have a balanced attack. It's just sometimes they get in situations where they see a coverage, they see something they like, that they're going to throw the football, but they'd like to have a balanced attack throughout the game.
Johnson for Lewis. Drilled. Hammered there by the cornerback, Sean Davis. This is how you lower the boom. Lewis, one of our auto owners insurance impact players, getting impacted there by Davis. It brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Falcons, with a ball resting at the Maryland 30. 80 seconds to go in the half. Matt Johnson marching towards the sideline. They're going to take the timeout, which will leave them 1 in this half. Folks, coming up at the break, we'll be sending you back to our BTN studios in Chicago. Dave Rebson, Jerry DiNardo, Howard Griffith. It'll be the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Randy Edsel and friends on that Maryland sideline, a 13-6 second quarter lead. As the Falcons talk it over, Matt Johnson returns to the huddle. And Roger Lewis is having himself a day. He's up to 11 catches and nearly 100 yards.
Yeah, this passing attack is so dangerous for Bowling Green. The ability to pick out any receiver. Matt Johnson knows exactly where he's going with the football before the ball's even snapped. And if he's got to make a couple reads, he certainly is cool, calm, and collective in the pocket.
Roger very close to his mom, Tina. He's motivated by that relationship. Matt Johnson sails this one a little wide for the intended target, Garrick Dieter.
This might be 4-down territory for the Bowling Green offense.
Decision time for Dino Babers.
This drive is extremely important for both sides of the football going into the locker room.
They're not bashful. They're going for it again on 4th and 7. 1 for 2 so far today, 3 for 3 last week. Johnson really juggles it. That's a lateral. The pass was bluffed. And then knocking Ronnie Moore down was Quentin Jefferson. Ronnie Moore, former Offensive Player of the Year during his high school days in Central Florida at Seminole.
Well, this could have been a scary play and a great play for Bowling Green if Matt Johnson was able to get the snap cleanly. We have the cornerback biting up top of the screen, which allows the receiver to get open for a split second. Babers thought that he might have had this. He was hoping that they could get this complete, but you know, smart play. Don't throw it away. Don't throw an interception. Let's, you know, don't do anything stupid before the half.
Facing a Maryland team 7-6 a year ago, the Terps winning their opener, convincingly handling FCS Richmond here a week ago. Harry Hills has gone the distance. The starting quarterback for the Terps. As the protection breaks down, he scrambles and then gets flattened on the outside. He'll pick up 4. 50 seconds to go. Austin Valdez, who had a game-high 13 tackles against the Vols last week, made the stop.
Maryland wants to have an up-tempo offense, 40 seconds and ticking going into the half.
4 wide receivers in the pattern for Hill. That was a dangerous throw, knocked down by Dernard Turner, intended for Laverne Jacobs.
Turner doing a great job reading the route on Jacobs and making a break on the ball. Almost had an interception right here. Could have been a huge play by the Bowling Green defense. Maryland works these situations week in and week out. Every day in practice, they go over a 2-minute drill or a 1-minute drill, time of possession. They give certain situations each and every day, so Maryland is no stranger to this 1-minute offense, which is now turned into a 35-second offense.
Only 3 starters back on D for Bowling Green. A team that gave up better than 600 yards total offense to Tennessee a week ago. Wes Brown leapfrogging a tackler. Wes Brown gets the first down for Maryland. Eiler Hardy gets credit for the tackle. The pickup of 13. Brown, who has come a long way. Much more comfortable in his own skin. Off the field. Hills being rattled there. The throw complete for Edatawa as he'll step out of bounds.
Great throw by Perry Hills. It almost looked like he was trying to throw the football away. Bowling Green does a great job getting pressure, flushing Perry Hills out of the pocket. I almost thought he was trying to throw that football away. But Amba Edatawa comes up with a great catch.
Zach Colvin was the man supplying the pressure. He sacked Josh Dobbs of Tennessee last week. Edatawa repositions. 18 seconds to go in the half. Hills sets and fires. On the in route there for Edatawa. Working in concert with Keenan McCardle, the wide receivers coach here in College Park. Timeout taken. Randy Edsall will provide some counsel.
Now, usually you don't take a timeout there, Joe, but with so little time on the clock and you still have a bunch of timeouts to burn, why not take a timeout, give your guys a little bit of water, talk about your next hit and play, and go from there. Great execution by the Maryland offense.
Let's expand back to Perry Hills a week ago and even today. You can appreciate the rust that he was experiencing.
Oh, yeah. I've been there, done that, Joe. You know, we don't want to talk about my first couple games as a starter, but you're going to have rust. There's nothing like game time action. If you take a look at Perry Hills right here, he's done some good things, done some not good things, but everything right here is the ability to move in and out of the pocket. Everybody remembers C.J. Brown from last year, how he was able to get flushed out of the pocket, run the read option, and pick up big plays with his feet. That's exactly what Perry Hills has been able to do so far today. This kid can run.
13 seconds left in the half. There's Hills' total offense. 1st and 10 for the Terps. Can they get into field goal range? Hills away from Royster will chuck this out of bounds. 7 seconds left.
Great job by Royster getting upfield. I don't necessarily think that he flushed Perry Hills out of the pocket. I think Perry Hills might have been a little shy there, getting out of the pocket a little bit too quick. I thought he might have been able to step up, make his reads, and maybe make a throw.
Royster, the former walk-on with a great work ethic, had 4 fumble recoveries a season ago, tied for the most in the nation, 33 in white. A nose for the football indeed.
A nose and a leader of this defense too. You know, he's been here for a while and he's been able to make some big plays, and they really need a big year out of Royster this year if they want to expect to do great things on defense.
Hills launching this one over the middle. Makes the connection. Taking it out of bounds is Wes Brown. 22 yards brings us to the end of the opening half. Maryland and Perry Hills tangling with the Falcons of Bowling Green. A 13-6 lead for the Terps after 2 quarters. The field goal tries of Craddock just outstanding. After this commercial timeout, we'll be sending you to the studios in Chicago. We'll join Dave, Jerry, and Howard. After the break, it's the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Thank goodness the skies have cleared. The Terrapins are on their way back to the field after a lightning delay better than an hour. The fans are making their way back to their seats. The 2 teams have been on the field for about 5 or 6 minutes of warm-up time. We're about to kick off quarter number 3. It's Joe Beninati and Scott McBrien with you on BTN. How about a video recap of the scoring summary from the first 30 minutes? Brad Craddock right down the middle from 41.
Yeah, well, the sure-handed right footer, Brad Craddock, hitting a big field goal in that first quarter was a big statement for the Maryland Terrapins. And then I still can't believe that guys are still kicking it to Will Likely. If I'm the other coach on the other side, Dino Babers, I don't kick to him again for the rest of the ball game, because as we see, we can see the kind of damage that he does. As soon as he gets the ball in his hands, it's shoom to the crib for a touchdown. And then Matt Johnson did a really nice job in executing the offense in that first half. Took what the defense gave him. He was relaxed in and out of the pocket, made the right checks at the line, and really moved the football really nicely. I'm looking for him to have a big second half.
From a numbers standpoint, we can summarize Matt Johnson close to 200 yards through the air in the opening half. Roger Lewis, who was originally planning on heading for Ohio State, flies his trade for Bowling Green. He's got 11 catches on this day. On the other side of the equation, Scott, Perry Hills has been able to produce with his arm and with his feet.
Yeah, he has. He's done it both ways, Joe. And I think this second half is really important for him to get off to a quick start, to really be able to execute the offense, break the huddle, get the offense into right checks, in right plays, and right situations. So I'm looking for Perry Hills to have another good half.
Moving on, Maryland needs to put pressure on Matt Johnson in the second half.
They certainly do. Whenever they're able to put pressure on Matt Johnson, it ends up in a sack or it ends up in a rush throw. Matt Johnson throws the football in places where he doesn't want to throw, but when he has time to deliver, we see how dangerous he can be. Sets his feet and gives a nice strike.
It's important for Bowling Green in quarters 3 and 4 to not forget about the run.
You know, the run game is very important for Bowling Green. I think if they can continue to run the football, pick up big chunks of yards on first and second down, and stay on schedule, it's only going to open up the passing game for Matt Johnson to be able to make big plays down the field.
As usual, the focal point, the quarterbacks, are Quicken Loans QB comparison numbers. Shake out like this. Matt Johnson, who threw for 424 last week in a loss to Tennessee, has been productive again. Perry Hills managing the ball game quite nicely. He made sure that he was coming into today's action with a mindset of throw, don't aim, don't worry about being perfect.
And again, that one touchdown pass from Matt Johnson was that one down by the goal line, the shovel pass. Everybody's got to remember that goes in the stat books as a touchdown pass.
Sends it on the way, end over end. It's Rhodes from the 3. Looking for a crease. Shut down swiftly. Avery Thompson is in there with a special teams tackle. The return is 15 yards. Bowling Green is used to these lightning delays. They were delayed for 80 minutes last week in Nashville. So Matt Johnson found Dino Babers, quarterback and head coach, had a little tete-a-tete.
Yeah, just some time to hang out, talk a little bit about the first half, maybe talk about some family, some friends, you know, loosen them up a little bit. Maybe talk about some strategy as well. Matt Johnson had a great first half, and talking about maybe the second half. What kind of adjustments do we want to make? What do you feel good about? What don't you feel good about?
Offensive coordinator Sean Lewis said the coaches are tough on the QBs at Bowling Green. A lot of stress on them to take that mental snapshot. This one's a shot on the money. Lewis. Wide open spaces. That's Rhodes making a break for it. Robbie Rhodes, ball chopped loose, sliding to recover. It'll stay Falcons ball. Good hustle there by Burbrink after the connection with Robbie Rhodes. A play that covers 64 yards.
That's that quick jailbreak pass by Matt Johnson. Does a great job inviting the rush upfield. The more rush you have at you, the less guys are left over to tackle the receiver. Great execution there by the Bowling Green offense.
Robbie Rhodes, one of the top 3 high school recruits coming out of Texas.
I'll tell you what, Matt Johnson has really been taking some hits today. Might have to have a talk with his offensive line. Maryland's been doing a great job getting to him, and that's exactly what they have to do in this second half. But he's really been taking some shots, but the most important thing is he's been getting back up.
He's down to almost his knees with the helmet off. He's taking a breather inside of that huddle as the ball was set free. Robbie Rhodes was hit. It was chopped loose. They're having a review of the fumble on the field now, just 19 seconds into quarter 3.
Well, a great hustle play here by Sean Davis. Let's see when his knee goes down and when the ball was out. This is what they're taking a look at. Looks like his knee is down.
For now, the football has been spotted at the Maryland 18.
Looks like it's starting to come out as soon as that knee hits. It's a bang-bang play.
The
Referee
ruling
Greg
of a
Blum.
fumble recovered by the offense is confirmed. First down, Bowling Green.
Prospective head coaches Dino Babers to the right, Randy Edsall pacing the sidelines for Maryland. The Terps, a win would make them 2-0 for the 4th straight year for the first time ever. Terrapins in their 2nd year in the Big Ten Conference. Dino Babers and the Falcons, the back-to-back MAC East champs. Ohio and Akron will challenge in the East of the Mid-American Conference this year. This is 1st and 10. Johnson out of the gun. Ngakoue swarms and finishes.
There's the pressure we were talking about right there, Joe, at halftime. Yannick Ngakoue doing a great job putting pressure on Matt Johnson. This is really the only way that Maryland's defense is going to be able to slow down Bowling Green's offense, is to put pressure on Matt Johnson, because if he feels cool, calm, and collective in the pocket, he's going to do some damage.
Ngakoue, honorable mention All Big Ten from the media selection last year. He had 6 sacks. Johnson sets up the screen to develop under for Travis Green. Green loosens himself from the pile, dives towards the Maryland 15. Credit Albin Hill on the tackle after the gain of 12.
And talk about the offensive coordinators for Bowling Green, Sean Lewis and Mike Lynch. They see what Maryland is trying to do. They recognize that Maryland is trying to pressure the quarterback. So what do? Invite the rush and dump it off to a little jailbreak screen or a little run back screen.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Falcons, attempting to take the lead on this drive. That pass, twisting and turning near the pylon. An acrobatic effort from Garrick Dieter. That falls incomplete.
I thought that was a great throw by Matt Johnson. That's called a throw behind.
That's the back shoulder, right?
Absolutely. And they actually read that in the middle of the play. Matt Johnson makes that read. If Dieter is not beating his man, he throws it to the back shoulder. Dieter's got to do a better job of adjusting to the football and making the catch. Solid throw by Matt Johnson.
Tyler Tate readying for a 34-yard field goal attempt. Maryland faithful would like to see a block. It's on the way, and he pushed it. No good. 2nd time today that place kicker Tyler Tate has missed. The first one from 27. So Maryland continues to enjoy its lead. It's 13-6. We get going with quarter 3 on BTN. Dino Babers' squad, they have been foiled by miscues. They could easily be leading.
Yeah, definitely, Joe. It all comes down to making field goals. You know, you got 2 missed field goals. It could be a 1-point game right now, but these are just mistakes that Bowling Green has made throughout the day, and they need to correct going into the second half. They've had opportunities. As a coach, your job is to put your team in a position to succeed, and they've done that so far. It's just been a lack of execution so far by Bowling Green.
Tyler Tate 0 for 2 field goal wise. Brad Craddock 2 for 2 for the Terps, who have the ball in red. First possession of the 3rd quarter. Brandon Ross around the corner. Short gain back to Chicago for a T-Mobile studio update with Mike Hall.
Hey there, Joe. We got 2 games today between the state of Oregon and the state of Michigan, and the Glove is winning the first one. This is Davion Smith with a touchdown run. They go for 2 and get it. Jim Harbaugh and company up 21 points on Gary Anderson and company in the 4th.
2nd week in a row, Mike, that Michigan has tangled with a Pac-12 opponent. As we have a drop in the open field. That was the tight end Derek Hayward who couldn't get his mitts on it. Hayward who threw a crushing block, which paved the way for a Will Likely punt return touchdown earlier.
And that's a ball that Hayward wishes he had back. Great job by Perry Hills on the play action, rolling out. Your job is to get him the ball as quick as possible, and that's exactly what he did. Hayward's got to come up with that catch if they expect to move these chains in the second half.
3rd down. Let's call it 6. Hills out of the shotgun. Will throw. Over the middle, deflected, and it falls incomplete. That pass intended for Avery Edwards, who was originally recruited but did not play for North Carolina.
And that was one that Avery Edwards wishes he had back too. Perry Hill's great job reading the coverage, stepping up in the pocket, delivering a strike. They really like Avery Edwards, though. He's a new guy on campus. He's going to be learning. You know, he's been able to pick up this offense. He runs great routes. He's got great hands. He just didn't show it there.
QB's left big targets, and he is a big. Berbrink is saying fair catch, and he'll make it right at the Bowling Green 30. Off the break we go. Back to College Park in a moment. The Falcons looking to fly after this. Eastern on BTN and BTN to go. Go to btn.com/gamefinder to find the game in your market. Nebraska, the Huskers shocked at the buzzer by BYU in Lincoln last week. Here in College Park, Maryland, the Bowling Green Falcons are in white. They are trailing 13-6. The last MAC team to beat Maryland in College Park, Ohio University, back in '97. Travis Green skipping his way into the secondary, gets to the second level where he's dragged down. A.J. Hendy on the stop, the pickup of 12, a first down for the Falcons, who have had the offensive upper hand. Matt Johnson puts this one right in and out of the hands, bounding off the chest of his intended target. Normally short-handed Roger Lewis, who was brilliant in the first 30 minutes.
That was a great throw by Matt Johnson, pitch and catch. Three-step drop turns into just a catch and throw when you're in the gun.
Cameron Sutton of Tennessee covered Roger pretty well last week, limiting him to just 2 catches. Matt Johnson, an empty backfield. Johnson wrapped up, spun around by Bonham, settles his feet, extending the play. And Matt Johnson will throw it away. A job well done to avoid a lengthy loss.
Job well done, but I thought Matt Johnson might have been able to pick up a first down if he just tucked the ball and run. Great job by Maryland's secondary. Jesse Bonham almost had him in the backfield, but Matt Johnson right here, he spins out. Oh, I thought he was able to run a little bit sooner than that. Picked the first down up with his feet, but nevertheless, great job throwing the ball away, not throwing an interception.
Pretty remarkable story, coming back from a broken hip as he is doing.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. A broken hip, sitting out all last year, having to earn his job back. Tremendous job.
Stayed in tune with the program while he was ailing. Johnson, the deep ball, stretching out, wide open connection. Touchdown, Roger Lewis. Bowling Green is an extra point away from tying the game. A 58-yard lightning bolt.
That's exactly what we were talking about. We've been talking about Matt Johnson the whole first half, this whole day today. Just what he can do with his arm, stepping up in the pocket, making his reads in the backfield, and throwing a strike. Looked like Maryland's secondary. There might have been a little bit of confusion in the backfield. Sean Davis thought he had help over the top, and he didn't. So these safety and cornerbacks are going to have a little bit of a communication on the sideline coming off the field.
Here's a great nugget about Roger Lewis. 7 touchdowns last year. They averaged 46 yards per catch and run. That's 58 in the books from Matt Johnson.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 1. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed in the kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Let's see if we can show you the unsportsmanlike conduct from Lewis. We'll show it after the extra point. Tyler Tate. Bowling Green likes this swinging gate formation. He actually ran a play out of it in the first half. Failed to convert for 2. This time now Tate's going to tie his shoe. The first for everything. Play clock down to 3. And the extra point is good. That was revealing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a trick play right there, Joe.
Let's uncover the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, Roger Lewis, first of all, great route, great catch. He's excited. Hey, I don't blame him, but you don't do that. That's what cost your team a little bit of a penalty right there, and that's exactly what he did. Just keep the ball, celebrate with your teammates off the sideline. That's what coaches hate to see right there, is a penalty on a celebration.
Matt Johnson just chilling out. Roger Lewis accepting the congratulations. The scoring drive was accomplished rather quickly in 34 seconds. The big thing the coaches were saying about Roger Lewis was that they wanted him to continue to practice like a pro. This is practice paying off.
Yeah, and let's watch Sean Davis up top. He feels like that he's got help up over the top, which he doesn't. This is a coverage bust. I'm not sure whose fault it was, and this is what they're going to have to communicate on the sideline. But Sean Davis thinks he's in a different coverage. He thinks he's got help over the top, which allows Lewis to run right by him and get into the end zone for a touchdown. Can't take anything away from Bowling Green. Great execution, great read by Matt Johnson, and most importantly, a great throw.
Look at those numbers for Roger Lewis. They are exquisite. With a kickoff team backed up to the 20, Will Likely stands at his own 20. They chip this one away from him. That's going to curl out of bounds. With a flag down. Now, normally a kickoff out of bounds means ball to 35.
Correct. Well, they want to keep it away from Will Likely. I don't blame them. You know, you can't kick the ball to the guy. Every time he touches it, something happens. If he doesn't pick up a huge return, it's a touchdown.
Greg Blum is our referee in the white cap, chatting with head coach Randy Edsel there, and now informing us.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. The 5-yard penalty we applied to the out-of-bounds spot. First down.
So it's to the out-of-bounds spot.
So nevertheless, they're just giving Maryland great field position because they're afraid of Will Likely taking it back for a touchdown. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that call. Maybe the kicker kicked it out of bounds by accident, but Maryland starts off with great field position.
Wonderful field position as Goins is in motion. 1st and 10 for the Terps. Deadlock at 13. Brandon Ross straight ahead. Fighting through Ryler Hardy and flung down. As we send you back to the studio, a T-Mobile update. Here's Mike Hall.
Joe, thanks. A slightly better performance for Penn State this week versus last. This is Deshaun Hamilton from Christian Hackenberg. They are in the end zone from 8 yards out, and they have a lead 20-7 with just under 11 minutes to go.
Christian Hackenberg, Mike, only 103 yards passing last week in that loss to Temple in Philadelphia. Ross wrapped up in the backfield. Good work there. Austin Valdez, who said last week that the little mistakes killed the Falcons on D. This is Austin Valdez, who is a high school quarterback.
Can't imagine transferring from a quarterback position to a linebacker position, Joe.
It was Gabe Martin and DJ Lynch who helped groom Austin once they decided the change was going to be made. Hills looking things over. 3rd and 5 with Wes Brown deep in the backfield. Out of the shotgun. Hills right on target there. DJ Moore's free. DJ Moore. Touchdown Terrapins. There is a flag down behind the play.
Looks like Perry Hills got hit in the backfield. We'll see what the call is, but there's a flag laying right next to Perry Hills where he was laying down. That usually means it's roughing the passer, late hit. Here we go. Nevertheless, great job hanging in the pocket, making your read, setting your feet, and throwing a strike.
There's a flag on the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 51. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed in the kickoff. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Malik Brown flagged for the roughing the passer.
And this is what I mean. Set your feet and throw a strike. Great route by DJ Moore. This kid's going to be special this year. But I really love the way that Perry Hills hung in the pocket, took the hit, and still made the throw, even though he knew the hit was coming.
Moore's first career touchdown, the first of many expected. Several had ruled and thought him to be the best wide receiver coming out of the state of Pennsylvania. The freshman from the Philly area gets on the board, gives Maryland back the lead. We're awaiting the extra point try as they tend to a fallen Falcon. Al Castillo is the athletic trainer for Bowling Green. Darrell Hunter wears number 1. He's the man down on his back just outside the 25-yard line, and looks of concern from the stands.
Yeah, it's never a good sign. Darrell Hunter laying down on his back. He's had a great camp, great off season. Really expected him to do great things this year.
redshirt senior, Scott, from West Palm Beach, Florida. A starter for parts of 4 different years with the Falcons. The most experienced defender in the eyes of D coordinator Brian Warden. Right now, his Falcon teammates have worried looks on their faces. We could try and show you what happened to Darrell Hunter.
Well, it's a good sight to see. Sitting up. Never want to see an injured player laying on his back. Looks like he might be able to get up here on his own power. Well, he needs a little bit of assistance. Let's hope for nothing but the best here. Yeah, it looks like his own man hit him.
Oh.
A knee to the helmet. That's never good. Usually those are signs of a concussion.
Crumbling collision there, and Hunter makes his wobbly way to the sideline. Maryland on a 42-yard catch and run. Perry Hills to DJ Moore. The Terps take the lead. Nate Adams is on to snap. Caleb Rowe will hold. Brad Craddock looking for the extra point. As we are nearly 5 minutes into the third quarter. A game delayed some 72 minutes due to lightning in the area. Maryland has answered a Bowling Green third quarter touchdown with one of its own. And here's how it plays out in the blink of an eye. It's the freshman, DJ Moore, on his way to pay dirt. Dax Garman, Perry Hills, and Caleb Rowe for Maryland. A few moments ago, Hills took a crunching hit. Caleb Rowe was warming up after this.
Yeah, this was a vicious hit that Perry Hills took. Up high, up in the helmet. You know, when a guy goes down like that, you think concussion. You don't know what to think. However, Caleb Rowe's behind him. Perry Hills did a great job battling back to win the starting job this year over Caleb Rowe. Some thought that Caleb Rowe was going to be the starter. We saw him warming up. We thought he might be able to go in, but coaches are happy. Whoever's in the game, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change their game plan.
Coaches Edsel and Loxley of late have been saying that Rowe has performed better through practices recently, but he knows he's the number 2 now. He's got to earn that job.
And you know what? You've got to carry it over from the practice field to the game field, which Caleb Rowe has had a hard time doing over the late.
Craddock booms this one through the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 for Bowling Green from the 25. Falcons already on the board in this third quarter. Matt Johnson to Roger Lewis. That covered 58 yards, but the Terps wasted very little time getting back on the board, getting back to the lead. Perry Hills to freshman DJ Moore. 42 yards later, it's 20-13 for the Terps. They have had a struggle keeping this man, Matt Johnson, in check. Already over 300 yards passing.
Yeah, Maryland's defense needs to do a better job of getting this Bowling Green offense off the field. Don't allow Matt Johnson to pick them apart.
Out of the gun, Matt Johnson to throw. Scanning downfield, another deep ball is aired out. And this one drifts out of bounds. Looking for Lewis, it's incomplete as he captured that on the sideline.
That was better coverage by Sean Davis. This time he did have help over the top. Matt Johnson throws it out of bounds. Wasn't a catchable ball, but that was better coverage by the Maryland secondary.
2nd and 10 now for the Falcons. Johnson's going to keep it and slide down. Close by was Jalen Brooks. Matt Johnson's used to completing passes for good yardage. Have a look at that among active players for his career.
Well, you know why, Joe? It's because of his film study. It's because of his preparation. A lot of quarterbacks don't put as much time as he does in the film room, in the playbook, to really understand why they're running certain plays and why they're getting into certain packages according to what looks that the defense is giving them.
Needs a chunk of change now on 3rd and 8. As we cross the 5-minute mark in quarter number 3. Capital One Field at Byrd Stadium. Matt Johnson to throw. Launching this one over the head of his intended target. As it was Ronnie Moore running there. Roger Lewis a few moments ago coming off the field. Well, check that. That's one on the defensive side. Darrell Hunter, who was smoked just a few moments ago. A collision, a knee towards the head.
Yeah, that's not a sight that you want to see. Daryl Hunter going into the locker room, probably going to be evaluated for concussion. They're going to give him all the tests, take the right steps to really provide him with a diagnosis of what might have happened.
Joseph Davidson with a punt, a low liner, likely backtracking off of his hands. It's loose. Sprinting to cover the football. Bowling Green says they have it. The Falcons do, deep in Maryland territory. Alfonso Mack with a recovery off the hands of Will Likely.
Now, Dino Babers has obviously made an adjustment here of doing a sprint punt right here, which allows the punt team to go down and cover Will Likely for plays like this. What Randy Edsall told Will Likely was, hey, not every punt that you get kicked to you is going to be a touchdown. Realize when to fair catch it. Realize when to not catch it. And I think Will didn't do a great job right there of adjusting to the football. And that was a tough catch to make. He should have either let it go or signaled for a fair catch.
Especially for a man who stands 5'7". Matt Johnson rides it into the belly of Travis Green. Green gets inside the Maryland 10. Gain of 5. Travis Green, a third-year starter, formerly a wide receiver. It's Coach Clausen who converted him to running back. Out of the pistol, Travis Green, gang tackled. Anthony Nixon was the first man there, and the man center screen.
And this is where Bowling Green really wants to improve, is scoring touchdowns when they get inside the red zone. Scoring touchdowns when they get inside the 10-yard line, not settling for field goals. This is an adjustment that they have to make in the second half.
And this has been a rare day when their field goal kicker, Tyler Tate's been a bit off. He's 0 for 2 with misses from 27 and 34. Third down and 5. And we've seen Bowling Green go for it on fourth down already a couple times today. They're not afraid. As the whistles blare out and the flags hit the turf. Another false start.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense number 88. 5-yard penalty. Down.
That's Hunter Folkertsma, who had a touchdown catch last week against Tennessee.
Now there might be a slight move right here. We'll have to wait and see who jumped. Yep, there it is right there. Slight move. Refs are going to call that and see that every time. That's one thing coaches hate to see, are mistakes like that inside the red zone.
Matt Johnson going through the progressions. Finds his man Ronnie Moore underneath. Bear hugged and tracked by Roman Braglio, who had him around the ankle. Braglio, an outstanding high school wrestler.
Quick tempo here, hurry up offense. They're going to try to get Maryland out of position here on fourth down.
Fourth down and 3. Johnson sprints, tucks it down and throws into traffic. It's picked off. Intercepted by Alvin Hill.
Well, we'll have to see what the penalty is. It looks like it's on Maryland. That was a free play for Matt Johnson, the Bowling Green offense.
There is a flag down.
Offside. Defense number 7. The 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
That'll be first and goal for the Falcons.
Yeah, it looks like it was Yannick Ngakoue. I think he's right here. Let's see what he does. Yep, there's the jump. Can't have that. This just gives Bowling Green a free chance to throw it up, and that's exactly why Matt Johnson threw it up. Who cares what happens? It's a penalty. It's a free play for the offense.
First and goal nearing the midway mark of the third quarter. Bowling Green attempting to tie up the Terps in College Park. The game, which began at noon, the game delayed some 1 hour and 12 minutes due to lightning in the area. Second time in as many weeks, the Falcons have had to endure that. Travis Green lowers his shoulder, powering his way into the end zone. Touchdown! Travis Green would not be denied. The 3-yard touchdown run brings Bowling Green within a point.
Heck of an effort by Travis Green right here. Taking on hit after hit, not giving up, the will to get in the end zone. Big Quentin Jefferson had a wrap on him, but couldn't bring him down. Great run by Travis Green. Big drive by the Bowling Green offense to bounce back after a Maryland touchdown.
As has been their pattern today, Bowling Green shows the swinging gate type point after touchdown set. And then they flex back in for Tyler Tate to try the extra point. Travis Green, the man who set the Bowling Green school record for rushing back in 2013, gets himself on the board here in quarter 3. Tate's extra point try is good. Maryland's Will Likely has done an awful lot of good in this young season. Incredibly good from the punt return standpoint. Here, he has a difficulty tracking that one down. It turns out to be a fumble. And shortly thereafter, it's the Bowling Green Falcons cashing in.
Yeah, that's just a mistake that Will likely can't make, Joe. You know, that's what the coaching staff wants to express to Will, that know when the play is dead, know when not to catch a football when it's punted to you. Every punt that's punted to you is not going to result in a touchdown. He's got to be smarter there and not fumbling the football. Bowling Green did a great job capitalizing on Maryland's mistake and not only getting a field goal there, but putting a touchdown on the scoreboard. Will
hopes to make amends with plenty of supporters behind him, apparently, in the band. It's 20-all with 7:54 to go in quarter number 3. Joe Beninati and Scott McBrien with you today. Big Ten football on Big Ten Network, presented by the U.S. Marine Corps. Likely watches it sail over his head and out of the end zone. 1st and 10 Maryland from the 25 here in College Park, about 9 miles from Washington, D.C. Temperatures in the low 70s right now.
Feels great. This is fall weather. This is football weather. We could have done without the rain delay, but this is an important drive for Maryland. Let's keep an eye on Perry Hills. After taking that big shot, let's see how he operates his system. Let's see if he takes any more shots. And let's see how his mechanics are. Hopefully nothing has affected him.
First 3 games of the season for Hills and these Terrapins come here at home. First road trip, September 26th at West Virginia. Fly sweep time for Laverne Jacobs. Jacobs tracked down and hammered. Zach Colvin came a long way. A man who benches 400 and who squats 700, just like Scott McBride.
This is a big dude right here. And that's game planning right there. Bowling Green knows that Maryland likes to run this jet sweep. They did a great job running it last week and picking up big yardages and touchdowns.
700 pounds. That's a lot of plates on the barbell.
That is. That's a lot of Joe Beninati.
Total yards today, Bowling Green soon to eclipse 400. Perry Hills on 2nd and 11. Will throw. Has all day. Snaps this one intended for Edwards. He was blanketed there by Alfonso Mack.
Not a very smart throw by Perry Hills. Great coverage by the Bowling Green secondary. Didn't have a whole lot of open targets there. Thought he might have been able to pick up some yards with his feet, but instead he tries to fit it in there on the sideline. And great defense by Bowling Green secondary.
Perry Hills set to go on 3rd and 11. Attention, Ohio cable TV viewers, you'll be leaving us around 3:28. Get you set for Ohio State and Hawaii today on BTN. As Hills looks to set up a screen, floats it inside for the tight end Edwards. Edwards rambling over the 30, where he's undercut by Alfonso Mack. 8 yards on the pickup for the Terps.
And I think you're going to see a whole lot of Avery Edwards this year. Here he is right here at tight end. Little screen, fakes like he's blocking, empties out downfield. Perry Hills does a great job hitting him. Bowling Green's defense did a great job keeping him short of the chains. But Avery Edwards, they really like this target. Newcomer here in College Park.
Punt time for the Terps. On 4th and 3, there was a whistle.
Illegal snap. Kicking game number 56. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Coaches like Nate Adams for his snapping ability, the faster velocity to get it back to the holder. Supplanting Christian Carpenter in that regard for Maryland. The freshman Pritchard, who's been a busy boy today, should be hitting this one from around his 15. Ryan Burbrink is deep. Burbrink, who played at DeMatha, who's been looking forward to this game since his birthday, January of 2011. He was hoping that was the day he committed to Bowling Green. He said, I hope they redshirt me so we can play
in this game,
and it turned out to be just right. Anthony Nixon there for the special teams tackle with help from Sean Davis to stop Burbrink. And Bowling Green gets the ball back with a little bit more than 6 minutes with which to work in quarter 3.
Yeah, and this is another big drive for Bowling Green's offense. A chance to take the lead here. And also for Maryland's defense, can they stop Bowling Green? What they really need to do is prevent Bowling Green from staying on schedule. What I mean by that is to stop them on first and second downs and get them into 3rd and long.
Bowling Green out of the MAC, non-conference games on the road, facing a Big Ten opponent. It's been rough.
Those 44 points right there is big.
Matt Johnson, that may have been a broken play. It looked like it was going to be a stretch or at least a play action deflection. Turns out to be intercepted. Jalen Brooks, the linebacker, with a pickoff, and Maryland's in business.
Well, 1 for 1, turnover for turnover. Heck of a play by the Maryland defense. Jalen Brooks coming up with the pick. Didn't necessarily agree with the throw by Matt Johnson. Tried to force it in there behind his target, which allows Brooks to come in there. Actually, A.J. Hendy to come in there and make the deflection, and Brooks making the interception. Huge play by the Maryland defense. Let's see if they can capitalize here on offense.
Brooks, a member of that linebacking core for the Terrapins. They're missing linebacker Abner Logan, who was injured early in training camp, a knee injury that'll keep him out for the year. Barry Hills hoping to drive his Terps back on top. Brandon Ross in the backfield. Hills quickly to Culmer. Culmer shifting away from the tackle of Eiler Hardy, knocked out of bounds. 7 more yards for Hills on his passing ledger. Culmer, the junior from Willingsboro, New Jersey.
And right there, Perry Hills has the option to either give to Brandon Ross. If the defender crashes, he pulls it and throws a quick strike to Culmer.
Offensive coordinator Loxley called Culmer a catalyst last week. This is a throw into traffic. It's juggled and caught by Culmer, and then he's all wrapped up. Eiler Hardy was the man who foiled everything, and then he had a whole bunch of help. Alfonso Mack and friends joined the party.
Well, Eiler Hardy did his homework from the last play. It almost looked like the same exact play. Fighting through the defender to break up the pass. Malcolm Culmer almost should have just batted the ball down for an incomplete pass, because now they're backed up to 3rd and long again, which they haven't been successful with in the second half.
3rd down and 10 for the Terps. Mills slips over the middle. Beautiful throw there for DJ Moore. Moore, who had this 3rd quarter touchdown. As the Terps are trying to get themselves in sync. It's got to be unusual for both sides to have such a lengthy halftime delay and get back into rhythm.
It is tough, but both teams have to go through it. You know, it's just like you, Joe. We had to get stretched out. We had to warm up. You know, this is what these guys have to do. And they've got to get refocused to get back out there and play a second half.
And DJ Moore, the freshman, Randy Edsel was saying none of his first-year players were intimidated last week. This is close as you see him just putting a toe down on that sideline. This is under review.
Well, and for Maryland fans, that is not Stefon Diggs. That is DJ Moore has come in and taken over the #1 as a freshman. He's really proven that he can play in this Maryland offense. He had a great training camp, came in here, made some great plays, and he's going to get a heck of a lot of playing time this year.
Mike Loxley, the offensive coordinator at Maryland, I love the way he put it pretty matter-of-factly. He's worked hard. He's kept his mouth shut.
That's right. He's coachable, and that's what coaches want. They want a kid to come into their program and just be coachable. Listen to what they're telling them. Right here, it looks like DJ Moore made a great catch. His foot might have been out of bounds.
The ruling was incomplete.
Well, let's see. Great catch. Let's see which foot comes down first. It looks like his right foot came down first, in bounds. I would think that's a catch. Right there, his right foot is down, his left foot is still in the air, and he's got possession of the football.
Our replay official today is Harold Dynas.
One. It's close. I'm thinking that's a catch.
This is a Maryland team that's reloading at the wide receiver position. 5 of their top 7 pass catchers from last year are gone. Referee Blum has heard enough.
The ruling of an incomplete pass stands. 4th down.
Wow, Joe, I'm 0 for 1.
Randy Edsall and Terrapin's faithful don't like the call. It suits Dino Babers just fine on the Bowling Green side in this 20-20 game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they were looking at there. It looked to me like he had possession, came down with the catch, had 1 foot inbounds before the left foot hit out of bounds.
Brad Craddock is in. Remember, he originally came to College Park thinking that he would be a punter. He's in punting form here.
It's that Australian-style punt that they want him to do.
This looks good. It's perfect, in fact.
Executed to a T.
A.J. Hendy downing the ball at the 1. That is fabulous execution.
It goes out of bounds.
Well, let's see what kind of punt coverage they had here. Now, Brad Craddock, being from Australia, they like him to do this Australian football-style technique here. It works to a T, hits right on the 5-yard line and bounces towards the end zone. Maryland did a great job getting behind the football and stopping it before it gets into the end zone, backing Bowling Green up to about the 1-yard line.
Craddock originally arrived in College Park looking for the punting job. He's been coached by former NFLer Ravens, former All-Pro kicker Matt Stover. First-team All-American last year, winner of the Groza Award. And already with a pair of field goals today. Johnson deep in his own territory, throwing it into the end zone. Making a break for it quickly. The very quick Ronnie Moore, who originally committed to Cincinnati. Sean Davis gets the tackle on 5 White after the gain of 9. 2nd and 1 coming up. The handoff as Bowling Green will stay on the ground with Coppett. Ohio cable TV viewers, you're almost set to leave us. 3:28 Eastern time is when we'll send you on your way to see the #1 ranked Buckeyes as they entertain the Rainbow Warriors from Hawaii. First ever meeting. A little less than 2 minutes away from sending you to Columbus, Ohio. On 1st and 10, here come the Falcons. Underneath. That's off the hands of Robbie Rhodes. Rhodes, who had a big gainer early in this 3rd quarter.
Maryland did a great job getting pressure on Matt Johnson. This is a quick hit throwing route anyway. Matt Johnson invites the rush upfield, turns and makes a throw. Quentin Jefferson doing a great job getting to Matt Johnson, making him feel a little rushed in the pocket.
Rhodes, the transfer from Baylor. Matt Johnson sets his feet. Puts some air under this one, and a diving effort is off the hands of Ronnie Moore.
I'll tell you what, is this kid Matt Johnson not accurate or what? Throw is absolutely perfect. He doesn't care about the pressure in his face. He's still going to deliver the football on time and in stride. It would have been a tough catch, but I think that's a catch that Rhodes is going to wish he had back. That's one he's got to haul in. That would have been a huge play for the Bowling Green offense.
They say Ronnie Moore knows the scheme like a coach. He's the fastest of the bunch on the wideouts. This is 3rd and 10. Maryland has done a nice job. Will Likely has really keeping an eye on Garrett Dieter. Ground game here. Nixon with a tackle on Fred Coppett, the 21-year-old from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ohio cable TV viewers about to leave us. Ohio State and Hawaii set to go on BTN. Thank you for tuning in. Bowling Green and Maryland with 3:40 to go in the 3rd. Matt Johnson, heave-ho, out of bounds over the head of Robbie Rhodes.
Number 7, Robbie Rhodes, incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 27.
Ohio State and Hawaii squaring off, the longest win streak in the nation for an Ohio State team that was impressive against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, nobody thought they would do the things that they did last year. They've picked up right where they left off.
Another catch for Roger Lewis. Roger's career best, 16 catches for 149 yards last year against Indiana when Bowling Green took down Big Ten competition. He has 13 grabs today. Johnson still flinging it for Dieter. Running with him in coverage was Sean Davis.
Well, Bowling Green is not afraid to attack this man-to-man defense. Maryland feels like they've got great matchups against Bowling Green's receivers. They're going to line up one-on-one and say, you've got to beat me. And Bowling Green has done a great job getting behind the Maryland defenders. And Matt Johnson has been making great reads and putting the ball where it needs to be.
Hashtag Falcon Fast. Bowling Green running plays at the speed of light. Coppett not going far.
Not only are they
Carter Jr. made the stop.
Not only are they faster, they're able to get off press coverage with their hands.
Dino Babers would like to spread you out from sideline to sideline, force people to feel uncomfortable on an island defensively. This is 3rd down and 7. Nearing the end of the 3rd quarter in College Park. Whistles before the play began.
False start. Offense, number 5. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Ronnie Moore, number 5. A little bit of a jump, false start, eager to get the play going. That's not what Dino Babers wants to see. There's the jump right there in the slot. Drive stoppers. Now they're backed up to a 3rd and 13. 3rd and 12.
Ronnie dedicated this season to his dad, who passed away in the summer. 3rd down. Let's call it 12. Johnson launching this one down the sideline. There's contact. Davis and Lewis, who've been running after one another all afternoon long.
Looks like another pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. 1st down.
Yeah, and Sean Davis, he's running for him step for step. Bowling Green obviously feels confident about beating this one-on-one coverage, which they've been doing a great job so far this game. And right there it shows. Lewis getting behind Davis and feet getting tripped up. Going to throw the flag on that every time. Sean Davis needs to do a better job of finding the football and going up to make a play.
Matt Johnson keeps it run straight ahead, slides down after the pickup of 6. Matt Johnson, who was the Falcons starter in 2013, broke the hip in the opening game last year against Western Kentucky. In his first 2 games this year, he has been throwing up a storm. Bunch formation at the bottom of the screen. 5 wides in the pattern to Ronnie Moore. Moore inside the 40. There's a flag down as Moore is tackled by A.J. Hendy. The pickup was good for 14. You won't have to rock Ronnie Moore to sleep today. He has been working his tail off.
He has. He's a lethal weapon there on the offensive side of the ball. He can really do it all.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5 or more in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So they had too many guys in the backfield here. Ref's going to call this every time.
Following the penalty, 2nd and 9 from.
Got 1 guy at the top and 4 at the bottom.
How about big Logan Dietz out there in the bunch?
Yeah.
Unusual formation.
Well,
Dino Babers is involved with every aspect of the offense.
yeah, he is. What's great about this Bowling Green offense is they get every guy the ball. They don't have one go-to receiver or one go-to target. Everybody contributes.
Coppett dragging tacklers inside the 40. Fred Coppett, who put on some good weight in the offseason. A.J. Hendy makes the tackle, but Coppett gets 12.
Coppett is really a great compliment to Green in the backfield.
Here he takes the toss. Ngakoue put a bump on him, but didn't wrap him up. Davis will do that. Sean Davis reacting quickly with 13 more, and the Falcons are roaming.
Looks like we got an injury on the field.
Sean Davis is staying down. Sean adjusting to the corner position. He played some corner in high school. Ngakoue had a chance on Coppet here.
Well, Sean Davis comes into the picture here. There's Sean. Looks like it might be a shoulder. We'll have to see what happens here, but did a great job making the tackle, making the play. It looked like he went down awkward on his left shoulder. Watch his left shoulder here. Looks like he lands awkward, but we'll have to see what the injury is.
Sean Davis staying down, being tended to. The athletic trainer for Maryland is Wes Robinson. Davis, who considered the NFL draft entry last year, chose to return for his senior year.
And I think that was a great decision by Sean. Just to get another year under your belt, another year of experience, playing a different position. I'm always a fan of staying in school and getting that one more year of just experience to grow, to mature, and be ready for the NFL.
Folks, if you've tuned in expecting to see the Ohio State game with Hawaii, here's where you can find it on your screen right now. The Buckeyes and the Rainbow Warriors clashing for the first time. Ohio State off that big win against Virginia Tech. Braxton Miller, the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week. This current drive is humming right along. Matt Johnson heaves it to the end zone, looking for Dieter off of his hands as he was fencing with Will Likely.
Solid throw by Matt Johnson, looking for Dieter in the back corner of the end zone. Better play by Will Likely, looking for the ball. If he doesn't look for the ball there and just puts his hands in Dieter's face, that's another penalty. Will Likely did a great job turning his head and trying to make a play on the football.
Derek Dieter, son of Derek and Susie. I understand he has a brother named Thurman. They must be Yankee fans. Lewis inside, tripped up. Jalen Brooks got a hand on him. Jermaine Carter Jr. was in the vicinity. 7 more yards for Matt Johnson, who's heading for another 400-yard passing day today.
So are you saying Dieter is a fan of Jeter?
Yes. Well done by you, Mr. McBrien.
I
Well
put
done.
that together.
Well done. Signals coming in from the sideline. As time is ticking away in quarter number 3. 3rd down and 4. Johnson takes the snap, goes underneath the Burbrink. Not able to shimmy loose from the tackle there of Hendy. There is a flag down with just 1 tick remaining in the 3rd.
Offside. 41 defense. That penalty's declined. Result of play.
Anna Bonham was offside. Converted from outside linebacker to defensive end in this new alignment for the Terps as the 3rd quarter comes to its conclusion. We anticipated this would be a tight one, and it's been true to form. Bowling Green and Maryland are tied up after 3 quarters. Big plays everywhere. The 4th quarter will decide it. Come on back for the final 15 minutes from College Park. Straight ahead next on BTN. Guys still here in College Park, Maryland. After 3 quarters, it's 20-20. Coach Babers' team, we outlined these potential keys to the game. How have they fared so far?
Yeah, we're almost on point, Joe. You know, Bowling Green passing for 357 yards. Holding Maryland to 129 yards rushing. The only thing that they've made the mistake on is kicking Will Likely the ball. We see when they kick him the ball, he has the ability to take it back for a touchdown, which he had, which is the difference in this ball game.
That was tied for the 2nd longest punt return in Maryland school history. Whistles here. Bowling Green starts the 4th quarter deep in Maryland territory.
Illegal snap. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. First down.
The center, Tim McCullough, gets flagged. He has that snap. He's nasty. He can be tough.
Yeah, usually what an illegal snap means is he moves the ball here before he snaps it. I didn't see much there.
Backing the Falcons up. 1st and goal. Bluffing the pass. Handing off. Coppet keeps the legs moving to the Maryland 5. He gains 8 from a storied high school program, St. Thomas Aquinas in the Florida area.
Second and goal from
A
the
whole
5.
bunch of Sunshine Staters on this roster from Bowling Green, Ohio.
Yeah, they like to recruit down there. They've gotten some great athletes over the years from down there.
5 wides on 2nd and goal. Matt Johnson with the pump fake over the middle. Perfect. It's a touchdown for Burbrink. Ryan Burbrink, who went to high school about 3 miles away from here. It's a happy homecoming.
First of all, great throw by Matt Johnson. Maybe even a better catch by Ryan Burbrink. Runs the seam slant route. Burbrink does a great job keeping his focus on the football in traffic and making the catch. This is the game that he's lived for his whole career, is coming back here to Maryland, where he's from, and playing against his hometown crowd.
Tate on for the extra point try. Tyler cashes in. It's 27-20, and remember, Scott, that's the business end of a 99-yard drive. They moved it after that beautiful Brad Craddock punt. They moved it 99 yards.
Yeah, that was a big drive for this Bowling Green offense. This was what they wanted to do. Move the ball down the field, wear out Maryland's defense, and cap it off with a touchdown. Not a field goal, a touchdown. Now they're up 7 points in the 4th quarter. Maryland's got a big task at hand going against this Bowling Green defense, but great job, great route by Burbrink, and great throw by Johnson.
And right now, Bowling Green has Maryland on upset alert. The last time they were able to defeat last Power 5 conference win was over Pittsburgh back in 2008. Fine start to the 4th quarter for the guys in white. Bowling Green next up for them. They'll host Memphis at Perry Stadium. First time they faced Memphis since 2004. Will Likely and the Terps, they'll entertain South Florida. Terps beat the Bulls 24-17 in Tampa last year. Right now they have their hands full with the Falcons. Bowling Green won't mind revisiting a 99-yard drive that took a little bit better than 5 minutes.
Well, we knew it'd be a shootout. We thought it'd be a little bit of a higher score than 27-20, but we knew it'd be a nail-biter, and that's exactly what it's turned out to be.
Falcons with their first lead on the day. Burbrink, DeMatha High School.
That's right, coached by Elijah Brooks down there in Hyattsville. I played under Bill McGregor. Elijah Brooks has done a great job coming into the DeMatha family, and he was a little bit younger than me in high school and went to William & Mary and had a great career, and now he's the head coach at DeMatha Catholic, and he's got them playing some great football right now.
Hills takes the snap from Mulrooney. Play action pass. Hills with time. Closing in on him now, and they force him out of bounds. Falcon defense. Alfonso Mack's been busy. So has Trenton Green, the linebacker. Did not play last year. He turns 22 next month.
Let's talk about Perry Hills here. I think he could have tucked the football and run for this. He holds the football a little bit too long. You got to be aware in the pocket. That mental clock has got to tick. Right there, Perry Hills needs to make a decision and run with it.
One of Perry's favorite targets, Laverne Jacobs, is nicked. Remains down on the turf. The athletic trainer for Maryland is Wes Robinson. Laverne Jacobs, last week, a 23-yard catch and run off of one of those fly sweeps where the quarterback just bats the ball forward.
Let's see what happens to him here. We get a replay. Laverne Jacobs looking for the pass and gets blown up there in the middle of the field.
Clint Stevens, the corner, crossing over, wrapped him.
Didn't go down exactly right away. We'll have to see what happened to him. It looked like maybe an elbow or a hand.
2nd and 8 for Maryland. Trailing now 27-20 on home turf. Hill fires. Incomplete. It looked good for Amba Edatawa. Randy Edsel was telling us Amba needs to play with more confidence. Needs to believe in himself.
He does, but I'm putting that one on Perry Hills. It looked like Amba was open right away. Perry needs to get rid of the football a little quicker. If he gets rid of the ball quicker, Amba's got time to make the catch and make a move and probably shoot him into the end zone.
Approaching 1 minute into the fourth. Third down and 8. And Hills will throw. Bowling Green rushes 4. Underneath, not much there. Solid defense. Nowhere for Wes Brown to run. Sanford congratulating along with Stevens. The Falcons do their job defensively.
They certainly did, but Maryland needs to do a better job of getting to the sticks. Route was a little short. Looked like Perry Hills. Reed took him right there. But you got to figure out a way to get 10 yards and not 5.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 2. It is number 2's first unsportsmanlike conduct. The second result in game disqualification. Automatic. First down.
The unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Clint Stevens. Sophomore corner from West Palm Beach. Wow. The most talented of the defensive backs in the eyes of D coordinator Brian Ward.
I think that's a gift for Maryland.
It sure is.
Bowling Green did a great job holding Maryland short of the chains and then commits a stupid penalty, giving them the first down.
Hills runs the option. There's the pitch. Wes Brown carving inside defenders there. Cross midfield, gets himself 9 yards. And hearing the description of thunder and lightning for Ross and Brown. Ross is the lightning part. Brown says thunder doesn't have to be slow. It shows off here.
Yeah, Maryland likes both of these backs. Doesn't matter who's in the backfield. They're still going to execute their offense. That speed option from under center, that's something new. We haven't seen that so far this year. Perry Hills did a great job attacking the end man on the line of scrimmage.
Hills under center. Play action. Reeling high there. Trenton Green thumped P.J. Gallo. Green, the former walk-on who was awarded a scholarship in August. Have a listen to this collision.
Wow. Yeah, a little bit of a bad throw right there. I blame that one on Perry Hills. They work that every day in practice, actually, with quarterback coach Mike Locksley. Play action, getting the ball out of your hands quick.
Perry at 50% today. 120 yards through the air for the Terps. Overmatched by Matt Johnson's gaudy numbers for Bowling Green. There, Hills finds Edatawa. First down Maryland just outside the 30 after the 12-yard pitch and catch.
Solid throw by Perry Hills there, bouncing back from the bad throw the play before. Standing tall in the pocket, delivering a strike.
They wanted to commit some tempo this week. Hills takes it on the read option. Offensive coordinator Locksley said, we didn't put much of that tempo in last week against Richmond, but they're moving it now.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't necessarily have to either, Joe. And this is something that they wanted to do this week was get the tempo going, get the Bowling Green defense tired.
Hills out of the gun. Pressure coming from Bush. Hills fires. Complete. Inside. Touchdown! Laverne Jacobs. Maryland is a point away from tying. That one covers 22 yards, and Terps fans love it.
Laverne Jacobs finding the open space. Perry Hills getting outside of the pocket. Finding the open man downfield, making a great throw. Solid execution by the Maryland offense.
Adams to snap, Rowe to hold, and Brad Craddock with a swing of the leg to tie it. 27 all. If you like high-scoring football, stay right there. The fourth quarter is going to be very interesting between these two. Hills extending the play. Jacobs is open, and Laverne has a cakewalk to the end zone. Maryland 27, Bowling Green 27. Come on back to College Park right after these words on BTN. Counter punch in College Park. We're tied at 27.
Now, Joe, I want you to watch this play here. Watch the tailback, Wes Brown. He seals the outside here, which allows Perry Hills to get on the outside, which is the reason this play is successful. Berry Hills gets on the outside, finds the open target. Jacobs finds the open space, makes a great catch, and a great move to score a touchdown. Solid execution by the Maryland offense.
Laverne Jacobs, a 22-yard catch and run. Maryland answering the Burbrink strike from a few moments ago. Craddock will pick it off. 8 plays for the Terps, a little less than 2 minutes to strike. End over end, this is Rhodes from the 8. Rhodes glides across the 25, and then things get a little bumpy for him. A return of 18 yards.
This is a big drive by the Bowling Green offense, Matt Johnson. You need to come up with an answer to an answer. Maryland putting points on the board to tie up the score.
Right now, Bowling Green needs to be a little bit better behaved. They've gotten sloppy in the second half.
Yeah, they have, and that's just discipline. You know, everybody's sticking with their jobs, making their reads and executing. It all comes down to execution in the end.
Bowling Green, 4 of its first 5 games on the road this year. In College Park, Maryland today. Involved in a real good one, 27-27. Matt Johnson looks off defenders, throws it on a crossing route underneath.
Pass
Ronnie
complete to
Moore,
5,
tackled by
Ronnie Moore.
Roman Braglio. 8 yards for number 5 in White.
2nd and 2 from the 35.
Underneath is right there, Joe. Maryland does not want to give up the big play. Bowling Green is always looking for that big play. Maryland going into a cover 2 look, not letting any guys behind them.
Matt Johnson watching, rather James Kanapke, who was the starter last year after Johnson got hurt, watching this masterpiece against Big Ten competition from Johnson. Another completion to Moore.
Pass complete to
Forward
5,
progress
Ronnie Moore.
stopped at the 43, 8 more yards.
27, Alvin Hill. 1st and 10 on the 43.
Johnson hovering around 375 up to 378 now through the air. And a very good completion percentage, I'd say.
Sure is. He's on his way. Big numbers last week. He's on his way to big numbers again this week.
1st and 10 for the Falcons. Johnson's flushed out. Flings it for Moore, who was able to get underneath Alvin Hill for 8 more yards as the Falcons continue to chip away towards midfield. This game began at noon, delayed by more than an hour with lightning in the vicinity. It was an extended halftime. 2 teams putting on a great show. Big Ten football on Big Ten Network, presented by the U.S. Marine Corps. Matt Johnson on 2nd and short. And he changed the play. Travis Green in the backfield with him. Green takes the handoff. Off the edge, it was Braglio there to meet him.
Now, Joe, what I want to point out is the fact that Matt Johnson is now looking over to the sideline for the checks.
Co-offensive coordinators Sean Lewis and Mike Lynch. First and 10. Falcons back into Maryland territory. There's that inside shovel for Derek Lee, who breaks free. Lee, that very same play went for a touchdown in the first half. This time it goes for 20 yards.
And Dino Baber said, we've put a lot on Matt Johnson's shoulders. He's got more freedom to make checks at the line himself, but now it looks like he's looking at the sideline for checks.
Johnson zips this one off the hands of Lee, and it falls harmlessly to the turf. A little bit less than 10 minutes to go. Regulation time in the 4th.
And this is where you got to be careful with the football. You get inside the 30-yard line, you're in field goal range, 4th quarter, clock ticking down. Can't fumble the ball, can't throw an interception, can't have any dumb plays. You have to stay on schedule, and hey, settle for a field goal if you have to.
Back-to-back 400-plus-yard passing games for Matt Johnson. Put some air on this one, looking for Lewis. Fights his way free. Touchdown! Roger Lewis. Capping off a fantastic day.
Fantastic is right. Wait till you see this catch, Joe. Lewis on press coverage, Sean Davis. Maryland coach said Sean Davis has to do a better job in man coverage and reacting to the football. He's got his head turned around, but he just doesn't go up to make the play. Lewis did a better job of adjusting to the football and coming down with the catch. Nice concentration, great throw, great execution.
Roger Lewis has had the upper hand big time in his matchup with Sean Davis today, to the tune of 200 receiving yards. Tate for the extra point. It's good, and Bowling Green is back on top. Roger Lewis, well-deserved refreshments on the Falcons sideline. This toss from Matt Johnson, tangling up with Davis, and somehow managing to get his mitts on it. Bowling Green has the lead in College Park.
Football on BTN is brought to you by State Farm. It pays to double check. Talk to your agent today. And by Illinois Office of Tourism. Discover it all at enjoyillinois.com.
Terrapins fans with worried looks on their faces. They should be concerned with the kind of a day that Roger Lewis and the Falcons are having. A 73-yard drive in 2.5 minutes and a beleaguered bunch of Terp defenders on the sideline.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it had to do with tempo, pace. Maryland hasn't done a great job of getting this Bowling Green offense off the field. They've allowed them to pick up first downs and put points on the board. And Bowling Green's done a great job getting in and out of the huddle and moving the football.
Tate kicks this one to Will Likely, 9 yards deep in the end zone. It's a touchback. How'd you like to play quarterback for Bowling Green? We're going to let you chuck it 50 times, and the numbers keep piling up.
Well, what I like about this play right here is Matt Johnson underthrows this football. And as a coach, you never want to see a football overthrown because you don't give the receiver a chance to go up right here like Lewis does and make the play. If you underthrow it, more times than not, you're either going to get a pass interference because that's a hard play for the defender to make, or your receiver's going to go up and make the touchdown grab, and that's exactly what he did right there.
Those are monstrous numbers for Roger Lewis, and equally so for Matt Johnson, the quarterback, under the bandana there. Perry Hills will look to lead Maryland in comeback fashion. Bowling Green better than 570 total yards of offense. Hills off the play action. A missile there right on target for Laverne Jacobs. A fine catch in front of Dernard Turner. 14 yards on the play.
And give the credit to the offensive line right there for Maryland, doing a great job giving Perry Hills time to throw the football.
The O-line bigger and stronger. They're eating about 4,800 to 5,200 calories a day now. Working with Drew Wilson, the strength coach. This Maryland team knew, heading into Big Ten country, that it was all about the trenches.
Yeah, and this isn't cheeseburger weight we're talking about, Joe. This is good, solid weight that this offensive line has put on in the offseason to keep up with this Big Ten defensive fronts.
2nd and 5, they're facing Bowling Green from the MAC, the Mid-American Conference. Hills bluffing. Double route there, perhaps, for Jacobs. Incomplete. Laverne and brother Tavon, they share a car on campus, so you know they're attached at the hip.
Yeah, and the Jacobs brothers sat out last year, didn't play at all, and they've got a new outlook on football. You know, didn't get a shot to play much, and this year is really a year that they wanted to impress the coaches, impress the fans, their teammates, earn the respect back, and be big contributors to this Maryland football team.
3rd and 5, Bowling Green working without starting corner Darrell Hunter, who will not return. We saw him leave earlier with a head injury. The pass is deflected away. Reserve Alfonso Mack, who's Hunter's backup, has performed admirably as he was covering the freshman Moore there.
Great coverage is right. DJ Moore just running a hitch route. Perry Hills delivering the football on time. Great throw. Just better coverage by Mack.
And then it's time for Maryland to punt with a little bit less than 9 minutes to go in the 4th. Burbrink drops back deep, waiting for this kick from Nick Pritchard. Burbrink, who had a 5-yard TD catch in this 4th quarter.
Timeout, Maryland.
Maryland takes the timeout on what is 4th and 5.
I don't know if Coach Etzel is going to think about going for it here. I don't know why he would, but call a timeout to maybe talk it over with the players, talk it over with the coaches. Burbrink is a dangerous returner back there on punt return.
Coach Edsall telling us there are 4 different coaching voices on special teams, plus his own this year. Keenan McCardell on punt return, Terry Richardson on kickoff return, John Dunn, punt coverage, which is what they're focusing on now, and Darryl Perkins on the kick coverage.
Yeah, and they've all done a great job. They all split up the time, and they put a lot of time into special teams. You know, they work special teams every single day. Every single day is dedicated to a different special team, whether it's punt return, kick return, field goal block, you name it. They work on it every single day. So special teams is a big part of every football program.
Perry Hills awaiting the shotgun snap on 4th down. Maryland's first effort to convert on 4th down today. This is 4th and 5 with a ball on the Maryland 44. Hills intercepted. It's picked off by Dernard Turner. A young man who, in the words of his coaches, gets everything out of his ability.
Sure does. Turner making a great play here, making the interception, reading the eyes of the quarterback, breaking on the route, and making a great pick. That's a huge play by this Bowling Green defense. I didn't know if I agreed with the call. Maryland going for it on 4th and 5. In their own territory, now Bowling Green's got great field possession. Look at the reaction of this Bowling Green team.
Matt Johnson loves it. From one number 11 to the other number 11, who doesn't feel so good about it. And now Maryland must tighten up defensively as Travis Green is taken to the sideline by Will Likely after a gain of 3. Caleb Rowe fixing his helmet, loosening up a bit. Could very well be coming on in relief. 2nd down, let's call it 7. Johnson, pump fake, long ball for Lewis. Likely is over there, and it's just off the fingertips of Lewis.
Pass intended for 1, Roger Lewis, incomplete.
Likely, who for most of the day has been guarding his opposite number 4, Garrett Dieter, here running with Roger Lewis.
Yeah, and they like this matchup. They might even start moving Will Likely on Lewis because Lewis has had such a huge day. Will Likely isn't going to get many throws thrown on him like that. Does a great job going up and making a play on the football.
The ultra-experienced offensive line for Bowling Green. Only UCLA with more returning starts this season in FBS. They're trying to protect Matt Johnson on 3rd and 7. They fake the fly sweep. Johnson over the middle here. Perfectly on time. It's going to be a touchdown for Robbie Rhodes. A backbreaker from Matt Johnson. A 44-yard touchdown pass that quiets the crowd in College Park.
Well, you get a play-action fake here like you're running a jet sweep. Johnson's got time to deliver, and Robbie Rhodes runs a tremendous route. Great catch, great touchdown. Huge drive by this Bowling Green offense. Matt Johnson again takes a hit. Doesn't even know that it was a completed pass until he looked up at the last second. Tremendous effort.
The bruises don't hurt as much when you're throwing touchdown passes. Tate makes it a 41-27 lead. Bowling Green is in charge against Big Ten Maryland. Rhodes and Johnson love it. Robbie Rhodes. High school numbers that were so scary. Well, adding to those totals now is a collegiate. Bowling Green on top. Falcons definitely have their dancing shoes on today. A 41-27 lead for Bowling Green with 8:18 to go in the 4th. And we are expecting Caleb Rowe to pilot the comeback attempt for the Terps next offensive possession.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's going into the football game here. He was a guy that was expected to start come game 1. He had a solid preseason camp, but Perry Hills just did a little bit more than Caleb did. But now we're going to see what Caleb Rowe is all about. He's the gunslinger of this quarterback group.
Touchback here. Let's send you back to Chicago. It's a T-Mobile studio update. Here is Mike Hall.
Joe, thanks. For those of you watching this game, when it is done, you will be taken right to Ohio State and Hawaii, and the Buckeyes are already on the board thanks to that dive from Ezekiel Elliott. They're up 7-zip, almost done with the first quarter. Joe?
So impressive. The Buckeyes, who have won 35 of their last 36 home openers at the Horseshoe. Caleb Rowe is in. Rowe, the senior from South Carolina, in relief of Perry Hills. Rowe heaves this one into traffic. It's deflected. It's picked off. Intercepted by Clint Stevens. Falcons overjoyed.
Oh, we said Caleb's a gunslinger. He's not afraid to throw the football, and right there it looked like he threw into coverage. Line gave him solid time to throw. He stepped up in the pocket and just simply threw into coverage right there. Bowling Green makes a break on the ball and an interception. Big play by this Bowling Green defense late in the fourth quarter.
Scott, I know Bowling Green is all about fast, 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 tempo, tempo, tempo. Now you have the lead on the road in the fourth. Do you slow it down?
Yeah, absolutely. Now you treat it as like almost a 4-minute offense show, even though there's still 8 minutes left on the clock. You don't want to go out of bounds. You don't want to stop the clock. Keep this clock moving.
Johnson hands off to Coppett. Coppett is tripped up inside by Jalen Brooks. A gain of 5 for Fred.
Tackled by 43, Jalen Brooks.
This Bowling Green team, ultra efficient in its last few possessions. 5 TDs on the board in the second half alone after the 1-hour, 12-minute lightning delay.
Yeah, we knew they were an explosive offense. We knew they had weapons. What's great about this Bowling Green offense is they just spread the football around to everybody on the team. Everybody contributes. There's not one single guy they try to target and go to. Matt Johnson spreads it around.
Coppett bounding off of tacklers. And Bonham was in there to finish him off. The last time the Falcons beat a power conference opponent, 2008, a 10-point decision over the Pittsburgh Panthers. Coppett with 8 more to his credit. First down, Bowling Green on top by 2 touchdowns. There's the mark of which we speak. Dino Babers' team, which beat Big Ten Indiana last year.
False start. Offense number 5 and number 1. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
We noticed that the Falcons beat Big Ten Indiana last year. It was 45-42 in Bowling Green. That was the first win over a Big Ten school since 2007. Trying to equal that today, tangling with a Big Ten team on the road in College Park, Maryland. It's pretty quiet at Byrd Stadium. 1st and 15 for the Falcons.
You knew this team wasn't going to just come in here and lay down and give a win to Maryland. They were going to fight, scratch, and claw to get a win.
Coppett again. Tremaine Carter Jr. trying to wrestle the ball free. The Terps need turnovers. 11 powerful and rugged yards from Coppett.
They've got such a veteran group up here, not only on the offensive line, but they've got everybody back on offense. And the way that they performed last week, putting up 30 points on a top 25 Tennessee team, gave them all the confidence in the world to come in here to College Park and put on that same performance here, and that's exactly what they've done today with 41 points on the board.
Coppett over 100 yards rushing to support all of the throwing exploits of Matt Johnson and Roger Lewis in particular. Second down and 4. Coppett sets up his blocking and picks up the first down for Bowling Green.
Coppett carries.
Maryland still with 2 timeouts left as time is ticking. Less than 6 minutes to go in the fourth.
Clock continuing to tick, and that's what Bowling Green wants to do here is run the football, keep the clock going, wear this defense down. Defense looks defeated right now, and Bowling Green is taking it to them.
Very tough non-conference early season schedule. Dieter opens up and bullseye. Matt Johnson to Garrick Dieter for the touchdown.
Wow. Heck of a route by Dieter, picking up right where he left off last week against Tennessee. When he gets man-to-man coverage, they're going to check to him. Runs a slant route on the left side of your screen. Johnson with the play-action fake in the backfield and delivers a strike to Dieter. Doesn't get much better than that. Throw and catch. Well executed.
That low-angle replay giving you a look at the release of Matt Johnson. He gets rid of the ball in a hurry.
Almost gets rid of it before Dieter even makes his break. And that's what made that play so successful.
A spectacular fourth quarter for Bowling Green. Tate with the extra point try. It's the Falcons on top by 21 in the blink of an eye. There is a flag down for the officials to confirm. Ronnie Moore is leading the charges for the Falcons, leading the cheers. Our referee today, Greg Blum, about to inform us of the penalty.
Following the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 44. The try is good. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed in the kickoff.
A stunned group of Terrapins making their way back out for a kickoff return. They are down 3 scores.
Well, watch up here. Matt Johnson is going to get the snap with the play-action read in the backfield and throw a strike behind the linebacker on a slant route to Dieter. Doesn't get much better than that. Dieter with a great route. Gets his defender on the outside hip, runs a solid slant route, makes a great catch for a touchdown. Johnson has just had an unbelievable day today. He picked up right where he left off last week against Tennessee. This guy's going to be one to look out for. Yeah, this guy's going to be one to look out for this year.
Added insurance from Johnson to Dieter. Garrick Dieter's first catch of the day after a career-best 7 last week against the Vols.
Well,
Tyler Tate will kick it.
Maryland is shocked, but Bowling Green is not shocked. They had all the confidence in the world coming in here that they could take it to Maryland.
Kick goes through the end zone. The Terps will start from their own 25. In need now of a major comeback. And Caleb Rowe, whose first passing attempt today in relief of Perry Hills, turned out to be intercepted. Makes his way back out for a second effort.
They need a quick strike here, a quick touchdown to really have a chance in this football game with only 5 minutes and 24 seconds left. They need a quick score.
Rowe, who played in 4 games last year before the injury ended his season, a knee injury a season ago. Rowe out of the gun. Caleb Rowe steps free from the pocket. Snaps that pass. Nice catch by Malcolm Palmer for 17. Malcolm had to reach back for that one. Time ticking against the Terps. Soon to be 5 minutes to go in the 4th. 1st and 10. Rowe snaps this one high. It's intercepted. Picked off. Bernard Turner has done it again.
Well, not the best throw by Caleb Rowe right there, but you got to give all the credit in the world to this Bowling Green defense, really taking it to Maryland's offense. The big uglies up front putting pressure on the quarterback, and the secondary really performing well, not letting guys behind them and making plays on the football. Not only getting to the football, but grabbing the football for a couple interceptions today that have been big plays for this Bowling Green defense.
The Terrapins, 3 interceptions in the last 4 passing plays. Malik Brown has remained down on the ground for Bowling Green. You see him there. Al Castillo is the athletic trainer for the Falcons. If you're just tuning in with us, a dazzling 4th quarter performance from Bowling Green. They have the lead in College Park. It's 48-27 at Byrd Stadium. A little less than 5 minutes remaining. Malik Brown under his own power. The transfer to Bowling Green from Tennessee. He had fun playing against his old mates last week, even though it was in a losing effort. Plenty of congratulations going on that sideline as the Falcons, who trailed at one point in this game 10-0, did not get their first lead in the game until this fourth quarter.
Well, this is the big win for this Bowling Green football team. Opening up with two big opponents in Tennessee and Maryland. Then they're home against Memphis. At Purdue, it doesn't get any easier.
Donovan Wilson off the Falcon bench. Hungry player, a very bright future ahead for him. The Falcons can get their reserves in. We see James Kanapke in, the new quarterback. Matt Johnson's day of damage is done. Wow, was he fantastic against the Terps today, as Kanapke, who took over for Matt last year, comes on. Threw for better than 3,000 yards last year. This is the man who's at the wheel this season in very fine form. 2nd and 7 for Wilson. Wrapped up there at the 25. Scott, when we were trying to find a recipe for Maryland's success today, we pointed out these things, and we see that they're falling short of them.
Yeah, they're falling short. Maryland not having a great day on the ground, but what they wanted to do was establish a run attack so it would open up the passing game, and Maryland struggled with the passing game as well, and you know, have had a couple turnovers that have been costly. Now you just look at the quarterback situation and say, well, now do we have a quarterback battle? Because you got Dax Garman, the transfer from Oklahoma State, coming in here to College Park, that now he's sitting behind saying, hey, I can play too. So well, they might have to open up this quarterback battle this week in practice.
Burbrink's day is probably done. The redshirt senior from Shadyside, Maryland. A happy homecoming for him. Matt Johnson threw 6 touchdown passes today. 6.
Unbelievable.
And nearly 500 yards through the air.
And just the fact that he sat out all last year. All that did, he said, was getting better because he studied the playbook. He helped out the other quarterbacks. He got time to kind of sit back and watch things develop, learn the offense even more, and really perfect his craft. And that's what he's done in this offseason. And for him to put up record numbers back-to-back weeks against a top 25 defense in Tennessee, and then coming in here to College Park on the road and having a better performance, it's been really nice to see.
Kanapke. One more time for Donovan Wilson. Town is very much the ally for the Bowling Green Falcons. 2.5 left. Johnson and Dieter, they can laugh about it on the sideline now.
This is a dangerous crew right here with Johnson and Dieter. Watch for this offense to be one of the top offenses in the country in all of football, not just their conference, all of football.
So when their windshield got cracked,
do some special things.
Falcons are also going to face Big Ten Purdue before their non-conference schedule is complete. Donovan Wilson knifing inside as we have time for today's Duluth Trading hardest working player, none other than Matt Johnson, who may need to ice down that right elbow and shoulder.
That's right. Had a heck of a day. I mean, look at these numbers. Does it get any better than that? 6 touchdowns. Never came close to throwing 6 touchdowns in a game, but it's got to be a great feeling the way that he's just the leader of this offense, the leader of this team. For him to bounce back from a hip injury and really pick up where he left off last week is got to give him confidence.
Dino Babers' squad soon to celebrate in 80 seconds time. Once we're done here, we'll be heading for Columbus, Ohio, the top-rated Buckeyes entertaining Hawaii. Kevin Kugler, Matt Millen, Lisa Byington on the call for us there. Joe Beninati, Scott McBrien down the stretch with you from College Park, Maryland. BTN football on Big Ten Network, presented by the U.S. Marine Corps. A shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts today. Maryland, what's coming up for them? South Florida comes in a week from today as the Terps will be licking their wounds.
Yeah, they got to lick their wounds, go back, watch the film, and realize what they've got to get better at. Doesn't get any easier.
Wilson rambling near the 5. That will move the chains and just about do it for the Falcons. Stunned looks on the faces of the Terps as Coach Babers strides confidently across the field to shake hands with Maryland head coach Randy Edsall. Both of these teams will leave today with 1-1 records out of the MAC. The back-to-back MAC East champs. They dropped the hammer on the Terps in the fourth quarter, and they're going to win this one by the final of 48-27. For Scott McBrien, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati thanking you for your time. This has been a presentation of the Big Ten Network. We now send you to Columbus. We're going to join Matt Miller.